Good afternoon, family. Good afternoon. Welcome to my channel, The Underrated Darkness. Let's get them lives and the views up on my past live stream and videos. Very much appreciated. Share this live, the stream, and hit the bell when I come for the powerful live stream. And so y'all get it. Also, if y'all want to get more contact with me, my Facebook page is Jerry Thomas. Matter of fact, I'm gonna do something. Welcome IC before I continue. I meant to do this for you. I'm gonna look out for you. I see. I see you have been supporting me from the beginning and even for the past, and I make you as a model. I appreciate your contribution. Always looking out for the channel. What up, nephew? How you doing? Get back what I was saying. Also, I have a Facebook group. All in caps, JTNVP, thinking for ourselves. Anytime my sister, oh yeah, this everybody call the wrench game. This not a wrench game. This you part of the Doom Shotters, the Doom Shotters crew, Doom Shotters family. No trolls. All right, I see no trolls. And come up here, get them out. All right, or unless like there's something happened, but other than that, no trolls up in this piece. And people say, why you put IC? Because she always show up most of my stuff, and she always been supportive. And I'm very careful who bars I pick or where by. Shotters, not shooters, shotters. And also I have a Twitter account, also all in caps. That's at JT Blackman44, and lower caps is my Instagram account, the same name. The Underrated Darkness. There is a shooting that actually happened in Maryland that I want to read about. That I'm going to read about. I'm trying to look. I had it in my head. Just give me time, family. Marquita, thanks for coming. Thanks for coming. You know what? I'm gonna start like, okay. So, but I hope everybody is all right. Let me get to Soft Family. Good morning. Oh, that's right. It's morning to you. Good afternoon, that B. Good afternoon, that B. Okay, hold on, family. Okay, let's see. Well, I'm glad everybody came out. Very much appreciated. Means a lot of your busy time. Let's see. Hold on, family. Pull this up. And also, Maryland had a shooting. They had positive movement too. They had also had a shooting now a few months ago too. But this one is and also it's gonna be possible panel participation. I don't know. I'm thinking about it and everything. Well, I don't know what happened. I don't know what happened. See, get this off. Okay. I don't know. I got the story, so here we go. This is from Politico. It's an unofficial multiple shooting kill in Maryland shooting. Um, from Aberdeen, Maryland, 3 people were killed Thursday morning in a shooting at Rite Distribution Center in Northeast Maryland, officials said. Get this off, answer that later. A law enforcement official with knowledge of the shooting stressed that the number of dead is based on preliminary information. The official wasn't authorized to discuss details by name and spoke on condition anonymity to the Associated Press. A suspect was taken custody and was critical condition. Harford County Sheriff Jeffrey Gaher told a news conference. It appeared there was only one weapon, handgun, were used, and there was no shots fired by responding law enforcement officer Gazer. Galler also said multiple people has been killed, one wounded by the shooting, without giving any details on casualties. A Baltimore hospital said it has received 4 patients with gunshot wounds from shooting. Johns Hopkins Bayview Medical Center spokesman Monica Stone said in an email Thursday that she was unable to provide details about the patient's condition. Gager said the caller about shots fired came in from the Rite Aid distribution center about 9:06 a.m. and deputies and other officers were on the scene just over 5 minutes. 3 people was killed Thursday morning in the shooting at a Rite Aid distribution center in Northeast Maryland, said September 20th. We are so preliminary in this investigation, Gay said. It's so important that we deal in facts. He said authorities don't want to make it worse for the families involved by giving out incorrect information. At nearby fire station, family members was waiting to be reunited with loved ones. Police blocked off the road outside, but were waving cars driven by people who said they were there to meet up with people who were at distribution center. The attacks came nearly 3 months after a man armed with a shotgun attacked a newspaper officer in Indianapolis, Maryland, killing 5 staff members. And that's the one I was talking about a few minutes ago. Authorities accused Jared W. Ramos of attacking the Capitol Gazette because of a long-standing grudge against the paper. The FBI described the Aberdeen incident as an active shooter situation, said his Baltimore field was assisting. In a tweet, Maryland Governor Larry Hogan said his office is monitoring this situation. Aberdeen, at that, the state stands ready for any support. Susan Henderson, spokesman for the drugstore, claimed Rite said the shooting happened on the campus of a company distribution center in Aberdeen. She described as a supporter faculty ascended to a larger building. Harford County Executive Barry Glassman said, "That's unfortunately, incidents like this are becoming too often occur, not only in Harford County, but in the country." Well, let me pull something up. So, family, it goes to show we even have to be careful. You go in drugstores now. CNN. Let me just check out CNN what they talking about. Check out CNN, and then we're gonna go in on this. Women killed 3 at Rite Dispute Center. Says, yeah. Galtolo woman killed 3 people. Drugstore dispute center. She shot herself in the head in an apparent suicide attempt, was unsuccessful. So she shot herself again, the source says. The shooting occurred at a Rite Aid supporting factory at 30 miles northeast of Baltimore. Was not clear if the woman worked up the Rite Aid or another company in the area. Yeah, trying to kill herself. The suspect used a single handgun shooter. Oh yeah, I read that part of the other thing. The gunman is in custody and in critical condition at a local hospital. All right, Rite Aid spokesman Susan Henderson says roughly 1,000 employees work at the dispute center where products receive and process for delivery. The shooting, I said it to primary building. She said, "We will not understand the location is secure." Colleen Henderson now lives and works in the area. She said that was waiting on the bus when someone told her there had been a shooting nearby. Of course, thought it was far off or that down the road or something right. Something right? She told CNN affiliate WJZ. No, it's out. It's right outside, right at the doorstep. She saw the emergency vehicles, including ambulance and helicopters, were out in place a sleepy part of the country. She said area is home in many warehouses and plants belong to major brands, including makeups and bleach companies. It really is usual, very calm at this most chaotic I ever seen it. She told the station it was very scary when it was just right there on the doorstep because you can you can see a billion news reports about shooting, about emergency assistance, and it still doesn't make it real to you. People was asking to avoid the area just outside the city of Perryman. Home, churches, and the cemetery are in the vacancy. Railroad tracks run alongside a business park. Then they showed the maps where they occur. As a matter of fact, and you know what's so far? It's right off one of the main highways in the country, I-95. Now I-95 runs go that you take that other way to Miami, and also I-95 go like I believe straight up to I think the end is Maine. But this is not that far from Baltimore and stuff like that. So this is like nearby I-95. So family, we look, we have to we have to really be careful. And I always emphasize that we have to learn to travel in groups. Sometimes it doesn't happen like that, understandable, but you gotta travel in groups. Can you work at the distribution? What's gonna be next? A drugstore? And seeing that the female trying to kill herself twice. So that means she was very disturbed for a while. And and I hope like she get better. That they make sure she take the psychiatric test. So no, she can't be in these streets. She killed 3 people. So our condolences to the family. So, and it's sad that this really happened. And I really want to know what the White House is going to say. I really do. I really do. Because I really do. It's sad. It really is. Also, sad. Oh, sure. Hold on, fam. Hold on. Okay. There you go. Welcome, Craig J in the house. Welcome, family. Derek Bailey, what's going on, family? I don't know why I keep on popping up. I ain't talking to y'all. Derek Bailey in the house. Craig J. Fam in the excuse me. No troll zones. My doom shotters. Okay. They're just a few minutes I see, and then you come do what y'all do. Just want your intake, that's all. And it's just for me, it's like when it's going to stop. It really is. I said it to you. I see. Watch out for it. Um. So so but like I read it's in the preliminary. It's I could do it later, but I just get y'all the breast of it. Oh no. She shot 3 people, fam. And you know what? It could have been more too. You know? It's it's crazy. That's all I know. It's well, hey, Ganja Mac XX, what's good? Thanks for coming. Appreciate that. Glad you make it here to the darkness. Um, well, we definitely want to like talk about precaution. I see if you look out for your thing. Look out for your thing, because I know you gotta go. Know you gotta get yourself together. Um, yes, it was Craig J. She killed 3 people, and plus she trying to kill herself. So she's in the hospital in critical condition. Yep. Yep. Okay, hold on, I see. Hold on. Might have to sit it the other way. Okay. So mothers and fathers, gotta be careful. Grown-ups in our community, gotta keep an eye on this. All right, I see. Look out for it. I send it out again. This, and Gracie one. Thanks for coming. Thanks for showing up. We gotta take precaution. So we're gonna talk about solutions. I sent it out to you, and anybody else want to join the conversation, let me know. Feel free. If I don't have an email, drop it in the chat, and I copy it down so I can plug you in. Cause it happened at a nice area. And trust me, if it can happen like that, it can definitely happen in our community. And that's something to think about. I know that a lot of us have kids, and sometimes we don't like to discuss our kids or whatever, niece and nephews or whatever it is, but it's the real world. Gotta explain this to them. And also they gotta learn to travel in groups too. You know? I see, look out for it. Send it out. Afro autonomy. Hey, peace to you, Queen. Peace to you, Queen. Thanks for coming. Very much appreciated. Thanks for coming. And family, we got to take this very seriously. We have to. Mo? Yeah. We're blazing in sports. What's going on, brother? Thanks for coming. Support the brother. We're blazing in sports. Excellent information. Excellent information from that channel. So we're blazing sports. So support the brother, and he will support you back. After Century, do you want to join the panel to talk about this? Because we definitely gotta the mothers in our community got to be in this part of this definitely be part of this conversation, and plus the fathers and godfathers and the godmothers and on and on. We all got to get involved in it. But God, don't worry about it. It's just all right. Yeah, but you got nieces and nephews, my brother. So you can take career steps too. Don't leave yourself out. I see you didn't get it. Afrocentric, let me know you want to get on the panel or not. But hey y'all, let's get them likes in the view. Let's get them lights up. Hit the like button. Hit the like button for the darkness. Yeah, support. No, Craig J. Can I say that word or more? You have to say you have to say I support because YouTube is bugging out, all right? So just say I support. Okay. All right, no problem. So fam, so Craig J, I gotta erase that. Said I support. Said I support. There it is. Yeah, I got you. Yes, thank you. Yeah, from now on, we cannot use that word no more. Oh, really? I don't know. It'd be, but y'all know the hangers be bugging out. Yeah, there it is. That's what we gotta use from now on. No more that S word. You want to give somebody, I support you. After that, it's in the back forth. I got you. That's what we got you because YouTube, it's acting funny. Sorry about that, Craig. I have to let you know, family. It ain't your fault. Yeah, but that's you go. But this is really, really something, you know. And I got you. Yeah, they funny. They are. Each day I try to help young around me get a chance to do it all, not BS. Yeah, yeah, appreciate that. Yeah, we gotta talk, man. I'm saying, I'm trying to, yeah, do that. Don't forget to support the underrated one either. Don't leave me out. And support back, or I got you. Either one. All right. Let me see. Mm, but hold on, family. Hold on. Yeah. It's all right, no problem. Don't worry about it. God, you don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. You family, you here family. We got you. You good. I see. I'm gonna send it again. That's what some of these hangers be acting funny. They always be acting funny, you know. Um, Send it out again. Yeah, we gotta travel in groups. We gotta, if you want to be, gotta be in a public place, cannot be in an isolated place. You got it's also like family. We have to know who we hanging out with. You got to make sure they don't have no guns and stuff like that. Make sure because some of them, you know, they had their own thing that they want to do some things that is not good, and then all of a sudden you be part of that association. So you have to know we have to do better. We have to take extra precaution. We have to. Not the time to be nonchalant and say, I don't care. I ain't gonna let nobody tell me what not to do. I could live my life and do that. Concept. Learn from this lady. She went to Rite distribution store and killed 3 people. She tried to kill herself twice. Didn't go through. And that's sad. Yeah, there's some people you can be trusted. I told him, Kevin, you know, there's some people can be trusted. We just have to we just have to do more. We got to do more searching. And it definitely goes for me too because I usually travel by myself. So, well, let me know that when I shop, get certain things. If I forgot, now I'm eating some chips. I ate a sandwich I made earlier. Then I ate some barbecue potato chips. I'm hungry, so excuse my not be tardiness. Sorry, but I definitely go for the darkness. Like I said, I travel myself, and the things, if certain things that I forgot about it, oh well, just do without it. If it's not all that serious, you know. So it ain't like you like ladies traveling. You know, you travel. You know, I'm gonna be with your girlfriends or be with your husband, man, or vice versa. You know, you go to the bathroom and stuff. Take your kids in the bathroom. You gotta be right there. You got, you know, it's don't. Okay, I'm gonna keep on saying IC. See, because I know you gotta get out of here. I'm gonna be patient. So keep on. I'm gonna keep on looking out for it. And okay, I see. I sent it out again. 89 TV. Salute. No. And so I got to definitely like, and I got, especially for me, I gotta take extra precaution. And sometimes you can't really plan for it like that because it can happen anytime. But you gotta learn how to read body movements, behavior, surroundings. And maybe like sometimes if this you feel something that is not right, you might have to go to store further. You might have to do that. I'm not saying don't have any, but we got to take extra precautions, people. We just cannot think that oh it's like that. You know, have this certain passive. Nah, we cannot act like that no more. We got to get very serious. 89 education. Thanks for coming. Thanks you. Yeah, make sure you subscribe. Okay, I see. Hold on. Just stay right there, I see. Stay right there, cause I might have to play a little bit. I don't know. You know you might have to do. You might have to reboot it and come back. But I'm gonna send it out again. So hold on, I see. I'm gonna send it out again. Anybody that want to join the panel, let me know. I get you in, cause I know you want to get your input on this and everything. I send it out again. I see.
It's just, I don't know.
There it is. You on? You good? Oh. You could talk.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Good night.
Um, I don't even know what to think about this whole situation. It's a little bit crazy to actually now have females doing what has typically been a male involved mass shooting type situation. We definitely have to be more careful, be more aware. Um, those states where you're allowed to carry, that may be one of ways of protecting yourself in situations like these. Even traveling in groups, if someone comes with a weapon, you have no means of really protecting yourself or your ones you're with. If that person has a weapon, you do not. So I would encourage, whether or not you're going to exercise your right, but I would still encourage you guys to go out, ladies also, to go out and obtain your permit to carry, conceal carry, um, and just be alert, be aware, keep that head on a swivel, and really read the situations in which you're walking into, because that's the best way we can actually protect ourselves by being alert.
Mhm. Yeah, and as a mother, what extra precaution as a I want to let me take that back. As a parent, I want you to talk, including me too, because I'm a godfather or anybody, but I want you to speak to the parents and after that, ones who don't have kids or who always deal with groups and grown-ups and stuff, the time. I want you I want to hear of your perspective because we need to hear that.
As a mother, I have a 19-year-old and a 10-year-old. My 19-year-old is currently serving with the U.S. Air Force. And that was one way of me allowing him or encouraging him to actually obtain self-defense techniques. In the military, they provide that type of training for you. They teach you how to learn, live in the wilderness and survive. So those are like basic skills that we can all utilize, but we tend not to. And a lot of those trainings are specific to the military. If you can find a training out there, wilderness training, um, shooting skills, go to the range, things like that, absolutely do those. Also, teach gun safety at home as well as within a range if you have a weapon in a home. Um, you have to teach the children from a young age to be alert, to be aware, and to also watch their surroundings. A lot of times, there's something within us, if we're tapped into ourselves, there's something within us that doesn't feel right when something's about to go down. We have to listen to our inner intuition, to our inner beings and inner selves. And that can actually protect us. But a lot of times we're so engrossed in our phones, we're so engrossed in our music, we're so engrossed with YouTube and all of different social medias that we kind of like lose that which is innate to us, that sixth sense that we all have.
Right.
Especially melanated peoples, especially when we're out in the sun, we kind of get the communications a little bit quicker.
Mm-hmm.
So we have to really be in tune with ourselves. Turn off the TV, turn off the social media, meditate for a bit, listen to the universe because the universe speaks back. Um, so I think that's where I am at on this one. I try to teach my children gun safety. I try to, we do have a weapon in the home, maybe more than one, but that's a whole other story.
Oh, I'm your friend. I'm part of the family. Any problem, I'm on your side.
Um, because it's a crazy world out there and you
Yeah.
have to protect yourself. And sometimes crazy have answer crazy, you know?
Yeah.
Eye for an eye, tooth for a tooth type situation. You can't say I'm going to get down on my knees and pray when somebody's shooting at you. Um, and I am a believer, so I'm not saying that to be facetious or anything like that. It's about being realistic in the society in which we live.
Okay, and before I turn to Sunday, I want to ask you a question as a responsible parent. And then that Sunday, I'm gonna get to you. Tell the people, and especially I'm talking about throughout humanity, but I'm talking about our community, why it's so vital that we travel in groups and at the same time to check our kids association. Explain why right now, why it's very essential, my sister. And then I'm gonna turn it to Sun. Then I'm gonna throw it back.
I'm gonna flip it. I'm gonna reverse it. Sometimes you're guilty by association, whether or not you're involved in the activity at which the group you're with. So you have to know the people whom you're traveling with.
Okay.
Traveling in groups, there's safety in numbers. However, like I said before, if someone's coming at you with two guns and they're blazing in their hands, if you don't have a way of protecting yourself, then there's a potential of more casualties. However, when you're traveling in numbers, the gunman can't shoot everybody at the same time. So there's a potential way of being able to stop the gunman or a gun person, or sort of kind of distract that person, if you have those numbers. On a regular basis, walking the streets, going to the store, going to the market, or whatever you want to do, there's definitely safety in numbers, because you're less of a target. That being said, sometimes it's not always feasible. You have to be able to read the streets because the streets read you. In Philly, we call it the scout. We have a Philly scout that goes on, and people that's native to Philly, you have this mean face, you have this mean mug going on. No, she's from here, she's not from here. And you can tell just from looking at your face. You have to walk with confidence and not with fear, because they also read fear. You become a target as well. So there's lots of ways of kind of like maneuvering through the system. But they gave us these laws, these amendments are in place for a particular reason. And I'm going to encourage everyone to exercise their rights to bear arms. If you don't want to have a concealed carry permit, you still have the right to have a weapon in your home, because home invasions are on an increase as well. And I guess I'll leave it at that.
Okay, I'm just going right there. Sunny Boxing Talk.
Check 1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2.
Yeah, man. My apologies for being late, brother. I had a little meeting I had to attend.
That's all right. You're here now. That's what counts.
Yeah, man. So honest to everyone in the chat. Honest to everyone in the panel. So I came in kind of late, so I'm kind of just kind of picking up with where you guys are going for right now. So it looks like we're talking about protecting yourself. Apparently there was some sort of shooting.
Yeah, it was a shooting. It was a shooting in Maryland. This lady killed 3 people at Rite in Maryland. Rite Aid distribution stores. Killed 3 people, and then she tried to kill herself twice. She's still in stable condition, and then it's still in the preliminary stages. So we and our sister and our queen IC, we talking about precaution, and that's what we at. That's what I want to talk about right now. Precaution, throughout our humanity, like I say before, but in our community. Now, as a father, I'm gonna put it to you. What certain precaution? I'm gonna do the same thing as I said. I'm gonna take the parent. I'm gonna take the father out. As a parent, what precautions that we need to take?
That's a very good question, JT. All I can say is what I believe and what I do. I feel very strongly in self-defense. You know what I mean? Especially we as a people, of everything that we've been through throughout history. I think it's very important for us, men and women, to want to protect yourself, protect your home, because we're dealing with some very crazy people who will gun you down, people who will run you over, people who will stab you up, who will rob you, and it's very important. And there are a lot of misconceptions about the knowledge of a firearm. Firearm is a tool, just like a hammer is. You know what I mean? Firearms don't kill people. People who are crazy kill people. So I believe in self-protection for the whole family. I believe in teaching the children how to operate a firearm responsibly. But really teaching them what a firearm can do. Because a lot of parents, some parents really don't do that. They try to just hide their weapon, and the kids find it, and then they A lot of times the kids are discharged it, sometimes injuring or killing themselves.
Right.
But the children need to know about the safety of a firearm, how to really operate it.
Mm-hmm.
And you also got to be responsible as far as locking it up and what and so forth. But it's important for um I think we need to change the way we think. I think it'll be good to take your whole family out and to go shooting. It's a stress reliever. It can be a family event. Um, and the actual, see, I'm a little different. I'll run drills. You know what I mean? I do safety drills. I do a fire alarm drill, like what to do if there's a fire. You hit a fire alarm. Things like that you have to prepare for, because really, when you look at certain people, that's exactly what they're preparing for. They preparing for the worst.
Right.
Matter of fact, I sent you a video. We was talking about it offline before.
Yes, you did.
So, me personally, man, I think that we need to kind of change the way we think. Um, I like to see more Asiatic sisters going out to the range and like getting rid of that initial fear. Because I believe if you're a sister that's watching and you actually go one day, or if you got a significant other, tell them to take you out one day and just go to the range. And like, I know you might be scared, but after you fire that first shot, you're gonna be like, wow, it's not as bad as I thought it was. And then you're gonna feel empowered, and it's gonna build your confidence, and it's gonna change the way that you think about uh, um, firearms.
Yeah.
But safety is the key.
Mm-hmm.
Safety first. You know what I'm saying? Knowing how to point it, knowing how when you're carrying it, not to hold your finger on the trigger. Um, but I think that I think that's how you do it, man. We shouldn't shy away from firearms, because we live in a crazy world. And I would say beware of any president that talks about getting rid of them.
Mm-hmm.
Because we look throughout history. That's what a lot of people like Hitler and a lot of dictators. That's what they do first.
Yeah. Now, the question, another question, I put it to IC. I'm gonna send it out again, so watch out for it, Queen. How do we go about to travel more in groups? Why is this very essential? Your take on that?
Well, when you travel in a group, you're what you're doing is you're becoming you go from an easy target from a hard target. Well, you become you go from being an easy target to a not so easy target. So if you're traveling by yourself, you're like you're more looked at to be possibly robbed or things of that nature. You know what I'm saying? But even when you're traveling and groups of people or packs, you still have to be vigilant. You still have to be mindful of what could happen, because they are some people who do mass shootings sometimes. Um, but I think it's when you're in a group, um, it's power in numbers. Especially if you're dealing with young children, or you're going to an area you've never been in before. If you're traveling in a group, that is a less attractive target versus one being by yourself. So I think traveling in groups are good, but also know who you're traveling with.
Yes.
You know what I mean? So like, you don't want nobody that's gonna, what I'm saying, run away and leave you out there without helping.
Yeah. Yeah. That's true. You're right. That sounds right. Now I know for me, before I continue, I know for me, like when I see, Sonny, as you already know, I travel by myself. So y'all see me in the streets by myself. But if you notice, I always make sure I be around people. If I'm gonna like intervene, I be around people. I never, especially like if you travel by yourself, always remember, never travel in an isolated place by yourself. Women and men, because I know some men hard to take care of. I said, no. That's can I think that passes away no more. If it gets nighttime, travel, make sure it be light. Make sure it be people, especially if you take the bus or you get in the car. Park your car. Don't park your car like in an isolated place because that's when they want to get you to. Park your car. If it takes you time to get out, take time to get out. Safety, very important. Like IC said, we gotta change the way if I think it. We gotta change the way how we go out and do things. Like I said before, there's certain things you leave out. Okay, long as you home safe, you can always get it the next day. If it's not important, we have to understand too that no matter, I don't care, I don't know which town that y'all live in, but there's some towns that have 24-hour transportation. When you travel, make sure don't try to get on the bus like if it takes you a little longer. Don't try to get on the bus that is less people. Get on like a lot of people, even on the train if it's 24 hours. Like when I live at Virginia, and I also, Sonny, he could tell you this. It's not 24 hours transportation. So if you go in the shop, make sure you write things down. Make a list. After you finish, you put a check on it. Say like this time, I'm gonna get home at a certain time. I know people like the club and all that go to bars. Gotta be extra careful now. I know we like to have fun. I get that, no problem. But we gotta be extra precaution. Maybe we might have to have a little fun in the house. Then if we go to the movies, make sure we be in groups. If you're a husband or wife, boyfriend or girlfriend, whatever, you wait with that person. Do not walk ahead. Go to the bathroom, make sure you stay right there. Especially you in the groups. I mean stay there, wipe their ass. I didn't mean like that. But stay right there at the door. And it goes for men too. With our community, again, and I have to emphasize it often and often and often. Like IC said, and part of it, Sonny said the same thing too, and the rest of the people in the chat, they said the same thing too, but the people outside in our community, we have to take extra precaution because they already strikes against us as already. I'm talking about safety. The kids up in age, we got to tell them the real world. We got to take more charge in our kids' lives. Man goes for black men and black women. Gotta take more charge. I can't see how my friend now. Their friend is, but nothing. You gotta take charge again. We cannot let kids make decisions of association. No, that's not gonna do it. We gotta forget what the society tells what to do. And I'm talking about, the system, this oppressed system. If the kids get mad, all right, they just get mad. When they get older, they will understand.
You know what, JT? What you're talking about now is very important. It sounds like to me what you're talking about. I got an echo.
Oh, talk again.
Sounds like, yeah, that's good. Sounds like to me what you're talking about is situational awareness.
Yes.
Situational awareness is very, very very important, and I think we need to start practicing that. So
Mm-hmm.
it's kind of I liken say situational awareness to like if you can imagine driving in a car, there's certain signs that you know when a driver is going to turn,
Mm-hmm.
or if you are driving, you're not just looking at the car in front of you, you're looking 4, 5, and 6 cars ahead of you. Like, so if there's 6 or 7 cars ahead of you that are putting on their red lights, like you see them braking, that lets you know that you need to kind of slow down a little bit. Something's going on, whether it's a police up there, you know what I mean, with their radar, or something happening to where you could possibly brake. And then sometimes when the driver's driving, when they want to turn, they can kind of creep to the line a little bit, and then you'll see them kind of glance in the mirror. That's called situational awareness. So, like, if you in a neighborhood where it's not so good, even if you're in a good neighborhood, practice doing things like this. If you drive to, let's just say, 7-Eleven, instead of pulling straight in until you facing the store,
Mm-hmm.
back in, back into it. So if something was to pop off, you don't have to back out, pull forward, and then peel off. You can just get in and go. It's little things like that people look at me and be like, yo, you bugging. Like, what's going on with you? But like, before I go into a store like a 7-Eleven, I actually glance inside and look to see who's inside. And when I go in, I automatically look at people's waist. Like, this is what I this is like normal for me.
Right.
I look at people's waist. I look for a bulge. If young kids, if they got baggy pants on, or they ain't got no belt on, they kind of pulling their pants up. I'm watching everything to see what they do.
Right.
I'll walk around the store for a minute just to make sure I know how many people's in the store. Like, this is really normal for me that I really do this.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes I even take it a little further and play a little game in my head just to try to find out what handed are. Are they right-handed or left-handed?
Mm-hmm.
But this is part of situational awareness. So we're in the age now where even if you're traveling in groups or you're traveling by yourself, we're on our cell phone. A lot of us walk with our heads down. There's a way that you can, if you have situational awareness, you're aware of everything. You can kind of predict what's going to happen if you're aware. You know what I mean? So make it a habit for the people who don't. Like, walk with your head up and try to predict what's going to happen. Like, look at people waist. Especially if you're in the hood.
Yeah, definitely.
You know what I mean? Walk like brother JT said. If you're by yourself, try to walk where there's some people. You know what I mean? Like, for me, sometimes I'm by myself, but I have pretty good situational awareness, and I'm never caught sleeping. Like, what I mean? I always got my sword on me. So and I practice in the mirror to draw.
Yeah, but you know what? It sounds funny, but it's serious though. Because and also on Gab Talk Media, I want if you could come, if you want to come on the panel, let me know. I get you on, brother, because I want your perspective too. Because but anyway, but I want your insight too, brother. If you can't, you can't. But if you want to get on, let me know. I'll be more than happy to get you on. And also, as being single too, and I want people, especially men, because I know women, you ain't talking about me. Yes, I am talking about you, but I'm gonna talk to the brothers. When you sit down and you eat out, never be when you're in a restaurant. Never, because this is my problem too. I gotta work on because I like the boots and stuff. You know, I like to be comfortable. Yo, I'm not gonna lie. I don't want to be comfortable. But sometimes I have to take certain precautions. Now, learn to sit the front of the store. So in case of anything happened, you could slide out the store. Because if you're in the back, you still gotta get past them. You always be alert. Like Sonny said, check the weights and everything. And also, listen up to certain language, what they talk about. Listen up certain codes. And you know what? When people in the hood, the ones in the hood, they know what I'm talking about. You gotta listen to the code. You gotta listen. That is very important. If you'll notice, I know Sonny and I think ICG was on it. When I was at McDonald's, y'all noticed I looked around because I want my authentic listening be intact. So if I hear something that is off, I need to go. The language, how they speak, very important. Sisters, it goes, queens, it goes for y'all too. If you have a friend talking on stupid in the group, you pull her on the side, even brothers too. Look, what is you talking about? If you feel that is going to be detrimental to your safety, you gotta take precaution and leave. And it goes with brothers too. So what y'all think about that? I see you go first, Queen. All right, go ahead, Sonny.
Yeah, J2, you're absolutely right, man. You're absolutely right. Sometimes if you go into a restaurant, sometimes they might seat you, but you can also request a certain seat, and if you want, you can wait a few minutes to get a certain seat. Gosh Almighty, he's shooting. Anyway, yeah. So request a certain seat, and just keep your head on the swivel. Watch who comes in. It's very important that we begin to do this and not be uh, lackadaisical because they coming in movies down spraying people. So it's very very important to know situational awareness.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? You was talking about the booth situation. Like if I'm traveling, I'm on a date or something. There's a booth. I don't sit across from each other. I sit next to just in case if I need to protect, I'm right there. Just little things of that nature. Just it's very important that we kind of step our game up for situational awareness. And if you don't know how to do it, there's videos out that you can go on YouTube. They talk about situational awareness. Um, but I would encourage everyone to take a firearm safety course and go get your concealed weapons carry permit and go to the range.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I don't believe in being a sitting duck. You know what I mean? So we have a duty to protect our because like when you call the police, they say they serve and protect, but they don't really serve and protect. You see what they're doing to us. So we can protect our own, we can protect our neighborhoods responsibly. You know. So like I agree with you, man. Like scan the area when you go in. Also speak to people too.
Yes.
Like when you go inside a store or something, or like say you're in a line. I keep going back to 7-Eleven. I speak to people. Like if I'm in a line, especially if it's a long line, and somebody comes in, I look at their face, I scan them up and down, I'm looking at their hips. They might think I'm gritting on them, but I'm really not. So to let them know I'm not gritting on him. If it's a guy, I'm like, hey, what's going on, brother? I speak to him to kind of put him at ease. Like I mean no harm. I'm no danger to you. I'm just scanning you. And normally, if they don't speak, those are the ones that you have to kind of watch a little bit more, because like when people go and they want to rob something, like a store or something,
Right.
their mind is focusing on everything that they want to do. So they're gonna come in with the mean face or whatever, or try to look regular, and they're not gonna speak to you. They're gonna be like, they're gonna come in and do their thing.
Right.
So be cautious of the ones who don't speak when you speak to them.
Mm-hmm.
And it's
right. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead.
yeah, and if you have a gut feeling about something and you got your kids with you, just politely leave out the line and just come back. It's better to be wrong and safe than just to be wrong. You know what I mean?
Yes. And also go along that point, son. If kids up in age, they need to get teach right now. If they 14 or 15, teach them right now.
JT younger.
Okay, younger. I'm trying to be nice. Go ahead. I'm trying to be nice.
No, we have to start them younger. The other peoples, they start their children 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7 years of age, how to handle themselves with the weapon. Back to your restaurant situation. You never want to have your back to the door. You want to be able to sit where you can see the entire restaurant, all your surroundings. Know your egresses, whether it's through the kitchen to get out the back way or through the front door the front way. There's a movie, I can't remember. I had the time of my life. Well, anyway, there's a line in there that says nobody puts baby in the corner. Well, baby had the best seat because baby, if something were to pop off, baby would be able to get down, knock that table over, and use that table as a form of protection. So along with situational awareness, you also have to have situational, how would I put this? Ideas or protection or situational situations. What
Right.
would you do in a situation? How would you handle the situation if this were to occur while you're in this particular place? So sort of kind of running through those ideas. As Sunny said, there are YouTube videos about how to, navigate through various situations that may occur that puts yourself and your loved ones in potential danger. So run through those scenarios in your mind, run through how you would do what, when, where, and how. And he said, and I said earlier, you definitely want to listen to your intuition, to your gut feeling, because a lot of times we do get those warnings, but we just don't take heed.
Right. I'm gonna tell you one thing that my late fathers do, like I let people know. My father was a chef, but he was always big on security. And I noticed that if he always say this, if I cook in a restaurant or any place, I have to be in the front. I had to observe everything. I had to know where the room's at. I had to know where the pot's at, because whoever comes in, I'm gonna pick up whatever I can to protect the people. So it got to be a certain opening. And then he taught me this, and I'm glad you brought this, IC, because how I was learning, and then I learned things when I was very, very, very young. And he also showed me, see how they bring the package in. If they nervous, do they give you eye contact? When they bring the package, when they bring that package, they food, is they eyes is surrounded of the certain place that they gonna put it at, or if they eyes start running around, that's when that's an alarm, and that's how my father ran it. He said, I remember one time he was cooking in some restaurant in Jersey. I never forget this. I was 11 at the time. It was early Saturday morning, and I was helping them cook. Because also, it's got to be people to be talking to. You got to have 3 or 4, 5, 6, 7 eyes at one time, because sometimes 2 eyes not enough. And I never forget, I said, Dad, I don't like it. What's going on, son? I said, he He not putting the stuff where. Yeah, what do you mean? Because the ice cream supposed to go in the freezer. So my father left in the freezer. He just wanted to know where you going. What do you mean? You can't. You no. The freezer stuff goes in here. That's why I left it open. You don't need to be walking all around here. And so, as me being the youngest, my father said, "I want you to go sit down." And he called his friends because he had his friends watching. Also, they were chefs. And what happened was they closed the door. They make sure he do everything. They closed the door. And they said, "What's your problem? Why are you figuring all that? Do you know at that time he was trying to rob the restaurant?" Of this certain movement that I caught that my father has shown me, and even my mom has shown me. And he says, "See how security is very important?" I said, yeah, security is very important. They called the cops and come to find out it was 3 other people was around the back, but the other people, they're already caught up. By movements like that, people, it's very important. Situational. We have to get back to the old school of things. And we cannot just adopt. No, I always said adopt to certain things, and it's true. But we got to learn to adopt back of the old ways, because sometimes the old ways could save our life. The new way of adopting certain things is not helping us right now. They're not helping us. We got to stop giving our kids the power that they could control this. No, they can't. The grown-ups, we have to get back and do what we have to do to protect our family. Because look at what happened. There's a woman. She went in the Rite distribution store and killed 3 people. And she wasn't even thinking about trying to kill herself twice. It could have been many others. Open spot. So you ask me, where's security at? We got grown-ups. We have to get back to be leaders of our community when it comes to safety. The kids going to get mad, so hell with it. Let them get mad. And teach them the other precautions, like as I was saying earlier. And you have to make sure it stays with them. You gotta, it's like you got to keep on constantly. Some of the time they want to go out and play. We go an hour and a half or 2. We gonna go through this, and they might probably get mad. So what? Get them questions. What you would do? I already show you what you would do in school. Such. Okay, we at the shopping mall. What you would do? All right. Do you know what doors that you nearby? Do you, when you walk in the mall, do you look at the emergency doors? Do you know the nearby side door that you could go at that how nobody don't know? Do you know what certain stores to go at where a lot of people usually shop at? Because sometimes we gotta look at certain stores too that some people don't shop at. It doesn't mean it's safe. Sometimes it's not safe. That's what people look at too. And us grown-ups, we gotta get on this too. I'm not saying I'm getting it right all the time, because I know I don't. But when I have to take extra precaution. I take precaution already, but I have to take extra precaution today. If there's something that I want to get and I can't get, I just can't get it. Oh, it got crowded? Because sometimes we so impatient. We need right then and no. Sometimes it's good to wait. Sometimes it's good to wait. And then when you go to the restaurant, like I said for them, like Sonny and IC, make sure you be in the front of the restaurant where the door or side door or the side of it. So in case of, anything happen, you can slide right out. See, these are the necessary steps we gotta have. And the kids have to be on the same code. as the parent is, or as godparents, godfathers, godmothers, aunt, uncles, whatever, older brother, sister, got to be on the same code. It's like the word I was looking for, repetition. You got to keep on at it. You got to keep them at it. That's the only way that I'm not saying that will stop everything, but it will limit somewhat down in our community. And the kids have to understand that at that time, you got to follow code. We got to go. No, there's no talking. Let's go. So what do y'all think about that? I see you go first.
All right, I'm just going to say this real fast before I have to jump off the line.
Okay.
The one thing I think we also need to teach our children is not to run towards the danger, not to run towards the crowd. We're in a time where everybody wants to pull out their cell phone and videotape and upload onto social media any and every event. Teach them to go the other way.
Mm-hmm.
Don't go towards the danger. Go away from the danger.
Right.
With that, I'm going to say thank you for having me on the panel. Thank you for you, Sonny, for your contributions. Thank you to the chat. I'm going to have to get going. But yet another great live stream, JT. And y'all have a blessed day.
All right. Thank you. You part of the mod.
Yes, I got my doom shooter, yo.
The doom shooter. That's right.
Congratulations.
And use it wisely. Get them trolls out.
I'll make you proud, JT.
So I like how she said you make me so proud. No, oh, behave myself. All right. Be safe, sis. So, bruh, your take.
Yeah, man, you're absolutely right. I agree with this. What you said. I agree with the sister just said. Don't run to where the issue is.
Mm-hmm.
Go away. Go away.
Go away. Far away. And also, right, and then, I mean to say this, and I want you to continue on this. And also, family, teach your kids. If there's any danger, because my mother, father told me this too. If there's certain danger that sometimes you break up, you tell them, you meet me at a certain spot and you stay there. Don't go nowhere. I understand what I'm saying, because sometimes there are things there. So you guys, sometimes this is where we're going to meet at right here. If anything happens, I want you to stay right there. And wait there, you call a cops or whatever. That's important. I see and Sonny, I want you to go more on that. Go away from the situation. That's very important. All right, Sonny.
Indeed, go away from the situation. Take a moment to look for the best route to take to go away.
Yeah.
Just be very situationally aware. Put down the cell phone. Not unless you're calling the police, but make sure when you're calling that you're focused. Also, whenever you're calling for law enforcement, and you're trying to help someone, be focused on what you see.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? As far as what the person look like. Say there's an active shooter or something, and you happen to see it. Observe what they're wearing. You know what I mean? Anything that, like, if you're too scared to carry a firearm, you know what I mean? You don't want to carry. You're too scared. When you call that'll give the police officer more information to get the right person. So if you got a white hat on, a red shirt, blue jeans, when you look at it, learn how to be situationally aware. Like, he got a Nike hat on with a red shirt, blue jeans. Looks like he has on New Balance shoes. He looks to be about 5'8". Give an accurate description. Learn how to, when if you ever question, that you can give an accurate account of what's going on. Simple things like, let's just say there's some sort of shootout, and you're in your car but no cars like there might be you might not be able to drive away. Don't sit in your car. Get out the car and hide behind. If you want to hide, if you want to hide on the side of the car, let's just say the driver's side, and the shooting is on the other side. Hide behind the engine compartment, because if they shoot in your direction, the engine compartment, the bullets is not gonna go straight through the engine block. You know what I mean? So the second place would be, well, it'll be behind the engine block, behind the first wheel. If you have to move to the second side, move to the second set of wheels and hide like behind the wheel, because you have like a long piece of metal going from one wheel to the other. That's where the most metal is. Don't hide directly behind the trunk. Bullet's gonna go straight through. So there's different things like that you can learn that will increase your level of awareness, and it also increase your chances to survive. So we was talking about this lady who came in the store and she just started shooting. I'm not sure if they released the video, and I haven't seen it.
No, it's still a preliminary status. They're gonna release it.
So normally, if somebody comes right in, they're either coming in with the gun in their hand, or they're pulling it out. It's good to know, because some stores, especially like Walgreens, they have little mirrors on the side, like in the corners. When you hear that bing bing, when people come in, make sure you kind of aware who's in there.
Right.
And you hear shots, just pause, kneel down, and look for an exit, and try to as much as possible stay away from that person. So I would say, for those who choose not to carry a firearm, I just want you to know that it's up to you to protect your family and your loved ones. It's not up to the police. You call the police, it's going to take them some time to get there. It's up to you. Like, it's your responsibility, especially men. If you're married, or you got a family, it is your responsibility to protect your family. Guns is always going to be here. When I first got mine, I had to go through a background check. So it wasn't easy for me. I had to take a class. I had to go to the range to be qualified. You know what I mean? So if you're scared, please go to the range. You know what I mean? Go to the range and learn how to operate your firearm. And then when you get home, just do things like safely unload your weapon, clear it, make sure there's nothing in there, and just practice. Pulling from pulling from your holster, whether you have it outside or inside. Just practice. Make sure that it's muscle memory.
Right.
So just in case you are in a situation, you don't get you're not frozen. You can go by muscle memory and go ahead and execute. But that's what we need, really. And I believe everyone here on the chat is one of a conscious mind, and we all love our people. Let's protect our families and our people, not let bad people kill innocent people for no reason. Pass the mic on that.
All right. Hey, right there, Sonny. All right, Gab Talk Media. Welcome, my brother.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. Peace, brother. Peace to both of y'all. That's brother Sonny right here.
Yes.
Yeah. Peace, brother.
Peace to you, brother.
Yes, sir. Good to be back on here with you again, black man. I when I turned it on in the car, I was literally just tuning in, JT. Y'all, it sounds like an event has happened of violence in a restaurant.
Oh,
And
do you want me? Do you want me to brush you with it?
if you got
Yeah,
time,
yeah, no problem. It was a shooting in Aberdeen, Maryland. It was a female. She entered a Rite Aid distribution store and killed 3 people. And then she tried to kill herself twice. And we talked when I seen it, it was on a preliminary status at the time. So what we did, when I read the story, we talking about humanity, but I'm talking about certain precautions. How do we go
yeah.
about doing it? How because we got to change the way we thinking now. The we that's what we talk about. IC was on there earlier, so she dropped out because she had to take care of her business.
Oh man, I missed IC. Okay.
Yeah, so
Um,
so I'm saying, but I know you're a parent and everything.
yeah.
As don't you know what? As a parent, how do we go about taking precaution?
Yeah, I was listening to Sonny's um talk about staying alert,
Mm-hmm.
being alert, and training yourself to be alert. And I think he gave some of the best security tips in the world. And I even heard you talk about where to sit in restaurants. You know what I mean? I'm not in a gun carrying state. Uh, most of my, I think the only place you can carry is in Virginia.
Mm-hmm.
So I won't approach it from that point of view, but staying security minded and staying on. This is all a part of Black life now, man. We're gonna have to brush up the way that we handle our business from day to day, as this kind of stuff is seemingly increasing. And
Mm-hmm.
I think statistics might bear witness to that. I haven't done the check. I don't know if we're just seeing more of
It is
violence
more.
or if it's actually more.
It's really more. It's really more. Let me tell you, brother. We
Okay.
altogether, it's not the years out. We got almost 30 school shootings. Also, of stores, I believe we got quite a few store shootings too this year.
Yeah, I know I'm hearing way more than I ever have.
Yeah, it
Um,
is, and it's
yeah,
alarming, and it's really alarming. Control. It's really alarming because you know we us as a people, we not taking the right precaution. We being passive. And
yeah,
so that's why I'm doing this show, because we got to get back on the ball of old school security. And I know
yeah,
a lot of people right now is not don't want to hear that, but and I was talking about how my father was my late father was a chef, and I was telling Sonny and I see about safety, how you supposed to see how people bring the package. If you know that they bring the package and they focus going to put it where it's at, you good. But if they start circling around and stuff, look out for that. And also, I talked about the language, how people talk. Got to pay attention to that. So that's what we really want to really press on that. But I want your take on it, fam.
yeah. No, I'm a double down on Sonny. My I'm ver I came into understanding or more awareness in the Nation of Islam in the early 90s, 93, something like that. And I spent a couple of years with them real close, as a registered Muslim and all that. So one of the big trainings is security. Like that's your main thing when you first enter the Nation of Islam. And so being aware and watching everything, like for the bulks, and I think the brother was talking about bulges in people's pockets and pants and in their waist, and all of that was something that if you ever been to a mosque, that's something we were always checking for. Now, of course, you can't pat people down as they walk in a store, but you can always be looking and examining people. And the whole thing is paying attention to people and seeing where where their awareness is. Well, not awareness, but I'm trying to say you want to know that you dealing with somebody stable and it's not being shiesty. And most of us that come from the neighborhood, we know what that is. But many of our people have moved away, and we not as sharp. You know, my kids were raised in the suburban areas where we only have like a remnant of what we should be looking for when somebody acting shiesty. So my children learn what they could from me, but we've been out of the element. It's not a daily practice, and unfortunately, we're going to have to probably train, man. Again, somebody gonna have to have some classes. I remember watching Cat Pot 2, one of his videos, where the brother was talking about different things. I think he might be a military man or something. And the brother was talking about what to do in dangerous situations. You know what I'm saying? He was given whatever it was that he was trying to do. And so Sonny is a prime candidate because it sounds like he's well versed on it with the firearms, the whole nine. Brothers and sisters like this that have that kind of training, I think we might want to start getting in class with these brothers or watching they training videos or something, so that we can be ready, because every circumstance is going to be slightly different. None of them are going to be cookie cutter situations where it's the same. You just go over here and you do this. Everything you're going to have to kind of be in the right mind frame to take whatever it is on, knowing that you got to protect you and yours, but you might be in a situation where you can save some other people. So we gotta talk about it. Like you always say, bro, we gotta talk about it.
Yeah, definitely. Nikki, I make you a mod. So welcome to the Doom Shotters family.
Congratulations, Nikki.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hey, Gab, yeah. But I feel that's very important. And now I got your brothers here. Nikki, if you want to join a panel, let me know, because I definitely want to hear more. I definitely want to hear more sisters, more queens in our community to take precaution and stuff like that.
You mind if I throw some out there right quick, JT, before we get to another spot right quick?
Yeah.
Indeed. So I just wanted to take the quick time to just kind of explain a little bit, because it's a little bit off the topic, but it might be on your mind as far as, what the news media is putting out. So like when there's something like a school shooting or any type of school shooting, it's normally a weapon that's called like an AR-15, right?
Right.
But when you listen to the news, what they do is they try to get you to think that the weapon that is used is a military style weapon.
Yeah.
I wanted to take a quick minute to explain to everybody what the difference really is. So the difference between an AR-15, which is a semi-automatic rifle, versus the military style, which is a fully automatic assault rifle. The difference is, on the military style, there are like 3 settings. So like there's one setting where it's full auto. When you pull the trigger and you hold on to it, the gun will continue to shoot until all the bullets are empty out the magazine. The second setting is like a burst fire. It might shoot 3 or 2 shots with one trigger pull. The last is single shot. That's the military style AR-15, or it's actually it's called an M4. The civilian version of it is no different from a handgun. The only difference between that and a handgun is that particular weapon is longer and it has a different round in it. So when you pull a trigger with a handgun, the the same number of bullets that's gonna come out that handgun is gonna come out that AR-15. So when they watched, when the news media put these information out, notice what they're trying to do. They're trying to make you think like they want you to be confused on the look of it. Like, oh, he has a military style weapon. It's not a military style weapon. It's just like a pistol. If you go inside of a store and you're carrying an AR-15, you can kill the same number of people with a pistol. The only difference is the size of it. So I just wanted to let people know that in order to get a military style firearm, there are extensive background checks that you have to get through. It's called a FL. It's called Federal Firearms License. It takes up to a year to get. You got to pay some money to get it, and those guns are extremely expensive to actually get a military style weapon. So don't let these people confuse you. You know what I mean? In fact, they're dropping the ball. A lot of these people who have been shooting have been flagged already. You know, flagged as crazy. You know what I mean? So I think there is an agenda to, ban certain firearms. So I would just say this to everybody: beware of any president that wants to do that, because, like I said before, that's what they done. That's what different governments have done in the past before they, get crazy. So just know that there's a difference. And actually, a shotgun would do more damage than an AR-15 in close range than the pistol. So let's put some things into perspective with that.
Okay.
Hey JT.
All right.
You did y'all talk about this from the spiritual and psychological viewpoint, where, like, people, like, when you're not in a dangerous situation every day, you know what I'm saying? Pretty much your life is seemingly to be a little on the safe side of things. A lot of us who don't face, like, or didn't grow up kind of in the inner city are going to be a little bit more scared in situations, and a lot of panic will set in and make you do things that you shouldn't be doing, or that'll set alarms off in whoever's ready to commit the criminal act or just the psychotic act. And preparation for that is a little bit different. So no matter how much physical training you get, somewhere in your heart and in your spirit, we got to begin to change our mindset on the things that are important to us with respect to life, man. Like we go out and get the physical. I don't care how much karate or kung fu or sometimes even shooting,
right,
that you done trained for, but because your mindset ain't set and determined on what's important to you, you might not use the training that you receive. You know what I'm saying? And then, so people have to kind of spiritually accept some of this shit that's like that's going on, as a reality, so that you can kind of reset your mind just a little, alter your mind some, to be able to deal with these circumstances. And unfortunately, nobody really know what they're going to do unless they been in them situations and tried a little bit. But that's something that I think people should begin to think about in advance.
Okay. So hold that thought. Because I want to get two things on Soul Academy. If you want to join the panel, you could drop. I want you to drop the email in so I can get you in, because I want to get your perspective. And Emily Gomez, Welcome to the chat. Welcome to the Darkness family. We not talking about the shooting. We talking about how do we protect ourselves. Now, and we, you know, it's good that we need to talk about stuff like that so we could take precaution. In all due respect, if you cannot take this conversation precaution, you be more free to leave. But we have to talk about stuff like this. We have to prepare our kids, and we have to prepare each other as grown-ups. And if the shooting happened today, the female shot 3 innocent people dead. And the families is suffering right now. The shooter is, I think the shooter's in critical condition because she's trying to kill herself twice. Not telling what her family had to go through. I had to bring this up because it's very important. We have to change our way of thinking. We gotta stop having these passive thinking and the passive ways that we have it, especially in our community. What Gab Talk was talking about precaution, what Sonny Box Talk was Sonny Box and Talk was to come from, and also I see we need more voices so we could be better equipped how to deal with situation ideas and live ideas. So to answer your question, Emily Gomez, we have to take precaution of that. Now, if you have anything want to talk about, any precaution, you could drop your email in the chat. I'd be more than happy But we talking about precaution. We're not really talking about the shooting all that much. So the 4 families that are suffering, my heart, and I mean the Darkness family and they families is out for the family. You keep on going, Gab. Soul Academy, if you want to join, put your email in the chat so I can get you on, sister. Go ahead, brother. I'm sorry, Gab, so I have to get that out, brother.
Just like the brother dropped off, man. But I'll pick up.
Yo, go ahead, pick up.
Hello.
Oh, he back on.
Oh, he back.
Oh, yeah, my fault, bro. I hit it.
No, it happened. Don't worry about it. No, go and speak. You want to finish? I'll cut you off. I'm sorry. I just had to get that out.
Yeah, no, I did that. I think I was almost wrapped up. I was just trying to get the family to think about, you know, life on all the levels that we gotta, you know, the mental preparation, the spiritual preparation, and the physical training that you're gonna need, because sometimes the physical preparation is the easiest part of the training. Mm-hmm. The other part, man, has to deal with your mindset and dealing with people and not wanting to hurt people and shit. And, you know, I remember when I was young, like when I was real young and my mother was bringing me up in the church, man, you know, that turn the other cheek and let somebody get away with this or that. Yeah. You got to train yourself up out of that shit, man. Yeah. You know, because a lot of times certain religions, right, they put you in that little weak, real weak position. And I'm real humble and stuff like that. But it's certain shit that's important to me, man. You know what I'm saying? It's certain, like life of my family. And in general, I got a love for humanity in general. So, you know, I've been in like little circumstances, because I was listening to a radio show the other day and they was talking about what to do when stuff pop. Matter of fact, it was O'Shea Jackson show. Mm-hmm. And they was talking about what to do in certain dangerous situations. Mm-hmm. And you know, and how a lot of the times it's gonna be risque. You know, it's gonna be some risky shit going on, and you don't know who you defending. So learning how to assess situations. You know, everybody got somebody in their neighborhood that can help us with that stuff, man. And I think awareness, JT, like you say, bro, like one thing I stick with you on is like you always say, we got to talk about it, man. Like we can't be silent about it. We got to nudge the people towards all of the various aspects of this that we can. And we got to urge and nudge each other on getting ready. You know what I'm saying? All of us are just simply not from the same neighborhood. We're not from the roughest of the streets all the time. We from various sections of the neighborhood. And so the brothers who are, you know, well equipped, you're not gonna be able to train all of us. All of us, some of us just gonna be too scared and shit, man. But we gotta try our best, like you're doing right now, to raise people's awareness so that they can think on all the levels that I just talked about. But I'm grateful to the real street soldiers out there, and I don't claim myself, like I'm not trying to sound like I'm one of them. I just seen some shit, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And had to protect myself on certain levels. But we know who the real hardcore ones is. And so we might have to consult some of these brothers who had the real training and don't mind, not just had the training, but been in the situation. So, you know, and just do our best, man. The most important thing is figuring out what you love and what you gonna stand for, what you gonna give your actual life for.
Right.
And I don't think we like to think like that. Like the lady in the chat room, right? She don't want to think about the reality of the shit that's going on, but it's like really it's happening now. We can't sit back and act like it's not happening no more.
Right, exactly. And that's
Yeah.
what I said,
So
that's what when I cut you before, that's what Sonny and other people, it's not trying to go at her. No, not at all. But we have to change the way of thinking. We have to face reality because reality is coming faster and faster as ever. And we have to have the discussions, especially in our community. We have to talk to our kids how to use a weapon. And even like they don't use a weapon, we have to talk to our kids to take precaution. We have to practice with them, even if they don't like it or not, but we have to. Safety is very important. And I have to emphasize again, parent, I'm talking about grown-ups. I know you like to hang out late at night. You want to go to the bars and club it up. I understand it loud and clear. But maybe we have to alternate it. You don't have fun in the house for a while. I don't see nothing wrong having a little drink here and there. We have to alternate our thinking. We have to alternate our ways. And then I know it's gonna be some people, I ain't worried about, I ain't gonna let nobody tell me what to do. All right, you wanna be a dumb MF, you go right ahead. I won't be nice and I'm not gonna curse. But we have to take precaution. And whatever precaution that us as a people has offered, we need to take heed to that. Gab gave us some excellent precaution about the nation of Islam. We should take that. We should take that and run with it. Sonny, he gave us some precautions. We need to take and run with it. I see when she was on there. She gave us some excellent precautions. We need to take and run with it. This is not the time to be passive. This is not the time to turn our heads. This is the time grown-ups in our community need to be grown-ups. We need to set up workshops in our house or whatever. I put that this way. We shouldn't do no worship outside. We should be worship in the house, workshops in the house with our kids and other grown-ups. We have to take precaution right now because it's happening. I have to say it again. Well, I'm gonna go through the story again because Soul Carry, I'm sorry, I didn't bring it. I'm sorry. What happened at Aberdeen, Maryland? I think it was this morning. It was a female came in Rite distribution store and shot 3 people dead. She tried to kill herself twice. And the ones who came late, that's what happened. So I set up this live stream today to send my hearts out to the ones that lost their life, for their families. And the female, the one shot them 3 dead, she is in critical condition. So what we talk about right now, I'm all about precaution. I'm all about that's what we talk about right now. I've offered this platform today, talk about safety. I always do that, always find solutions, but today is very essential. I want you to share. I want y'all to share and get the likes of the other live streams and videos I did earlier. Yes, in the past, I want you to get those up. But today, this live stream got to be shared. It got to be shared of every aspect of social media. This got to be a talking point right now because sooner or later, it's going to come in our community. And we better be equipped to talk about this. Kids are up in age, they need to talk about it. They need to know. Grown-ups, we got to stop talking all this general gossip BS, and we got to get to work. Because we always like this. If it happened to us, we want people to have sympathetic. No, this is not the time. Because we have to understand that I call the president Orange Crush 45. He is not doing anything to sober this nation. Forget about it. He got his own people. No matter what it is, they don't care about it. They racist. To see for what it is, they're gonna take certain precautions and make it so bad. Right this minute, they are probably planning for a race war. So how are we gonna so this now I'm going back for humanity because we are part of humanity. What are certain precautions that we are taking right now as a people? When the time is enough. Sonny, go ahead and speak because I'm getting tired of this passive thinking. I'm tired. Sonny, hit me up, and Gab, you can follow up. Anybody want to join the panel? Drop your email in the chat. Let's find solutions.
Indeed. What you said, brother JT, is very, 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 very real. For those who don't know, a few weeks ago, I shared with brother JT a video, which I mean, he already knew a lot about what was going on, but in the video, if you guys were to see what was going on, as far as preparation.
Explain that, please, to the people. Explain it.
So I'm gonna go ahead and explain it, and then after I explain it, I'm gonna speak on some things that brother Malik said because I want to piggyback off of what he said because he said some very powerful things about the mindset that we need to have. So you have certain guys out here that are training the worst case scenarios, which means they're not only training with their firearms, like not just in a local gun shop where you're inside shooting. They're outside. They're shooting targets moving. They're shooting targets behind cars. They're getting out of cars and shooting. They're practicing scenarios to where If they get shot in the hand, they lose a finger. That like they're taping up. They'll have tape on their hand, so they got to learn how to shoot from the offhand and cock your gun with fingers missing, and they got somebody in the corner that's spraying them with fake blood.
Mm-hmm.
They taping up their arms, um, and they're still in a fight shooting, taping up their arms, and they're and what I'm saying is when you practice situational awareness every day, even though you might be in a great neighborhood, you might be in a worse neighborhood. Brother Malik was talking about the certain mind state that we need to work on, the certain mind state that we got to have. We have to understand that we have been through so much as a people through years and centuries and centuries and centuries. We are responsible for ourselves. We are responsible for protecting our family. A lot of those people that were gunned down in these massive shootings, we're not doing that. You know, for the one that was, like, we are a reactionary people. Like, so we do it is we're reacting. But I'm not saying that to glorify or say that I agree with what happened. But what I'm saying is, a lot of these people, they wake up, they're in a nice neighborhood. They thinking that, you know, they're gonna have a nice day today, or they're going to the movies, or they're going to the club, or they're just going out to hang out, or their kids are just going to school, you know, a good school at that. And you have somebody who's a lunatic to go in and do what they do. They wasn't expecting that. So even though you're in a nice neighborhood, even though like you don't see like things like this happen, you have to understand that it could very well happen to you. So it will behoove you to know that and understand what our history been through and do something to begin to train yourself. Yes, you're going to be scared or afraid during a particular situation, but you will have a one up on someone who's not training, because if you train and you continue to train, you will develop a muscle memory. You know, so learn how to develop your thought pattern to think differently, because that's a scary video. You got somebody out here practicing. If he gets shot in the arm, if he loses an eye, they putting tape on their eye. They
Mm-hmm.
taping up their arm. They taping up their hand, and like still loading their weapons and still cocking their weapons back and still shooting.
Mm-hmm.
Then they go to a place behind cover, and they performing CPR on each other. You know, everybody's not gonna have that warrior spirit to where you're gonna have the ones who's gonna go out and fight for your people, or fight for your family. But
And
you gotta be
you
able to
know, Sonny,
protect yourself.
oh, I'm sorry, let me to cut you off. And everything what Sonny was saying, every time to load up the gun, pull the people, they timed it.
They're timing it. They have their hands and arms taped together. They're throwing dirt at the gun, like at their face while they're shooting it, and they had this little long ruler type thing. So they're shooting, right, and they'll stick it on the gun while the person's shooting to make the gun jam. So not only are you one armed, like you're practicing, you know what I'm saying, unjamming your gun with one arm. So like they're using their leg, they're sticking it in between their knees. What I'm saying is, this is what they're doing. Why are they doing this? Why are they training so hard like this? You know, why are they training their children like this? It's for a reason. And right now, we have a few of us who are ready, but we're, as a people, we're not really ready, because we're too busy walking around. Um, we're worried about love and hip hop. We walk around, you know, staring at our phones. We're not situationally aware of what's going on. So learn to think differently. If it helps, think of it as a game. You know what I mean? Like you go somewhere, act like you were a super spy or something. Like whatever you could do to make it fun for you, to get in the habit of being situationally aware. You know, teach your children. Once you learn how to do it, teach your children how to do it. You know, children get hit by buses all the time. Like, you know, they get hit by cars. Um, you know, hit by a bus. Sometimes there's a shooting, and sometimes they are some of the ones are being casualties. Teach them about situational awareness. And people, I'm gonna be honest with you, people think I'm like too extra. Maybe I am. I don't know. But like, I'm gonna give y'all a visual example of how I am. So like, just imagine me and JT, we outside talking, and like, maybe this is our first time talking outside. I would have to let JT know, like, look, man, I'm listening to you. I know it might look rude what I'm doing, but I'm not looking at you, but I am looking at you every now and then, but I'm looking around. Like I'm constantly looking around. So like imagine talking to somebody who's listening to you, but not really looking at you, like the whole conversation. So that's me. Like I'm looking around because I want to be aware of my situation. You know, you never know what's going to happen.
Right.
And if you get caught, like matter of fact, sheep stay asleep. Don't get caught asleep.
Mm-hmm.
You know, so that brother was right as far as your mindset. You know, I want to encourage you. I want to encourage you, women. Some of y'all might be very, very afraid of handling the firearm. I promise you, if you go, you take your class, you go in that range, and you shoot it that first time, you're gonna feel so empowered. You're gonna feel like, wow, this is really not as bad as I thought. Like you will get rid of that fear, and you might like it. It might become a hobby to you. You won't know unless you try. You know, I know one sister that said that she shot a shotgun. You know, and it shocked me. Like, you know, and she said that after she shot it, she felt so empowered. You know what I mean? So if you scared, just listen to that. You know, and just know that you can do it. Like you're stronger than what you think you are.
Mm-hmm.
Some women are very scared to like handle a weapon, like even touch it or to look at it. You know, just take a class, learn about it first. Like you ain't even got to touch it first. Just learn about it. You know what I mean? Then when you handle it, when they give it to you, it's gonna be unarmed. Like it's not gonna be anything. It's gonna be unloaded. Then you're gonna learn how to kind of handle it a little bit. So you know, get to know it. If you wanna you know, attend a gym or something, you wanna get yourself in shape, go to a gym, take a kickboxing course, or take a martial art. You know, so if you in a situation where you had to defend yourself, you're better off than someone who's never taken anything. At least you'll have some sort of muscle memory to defend yourself. You know, because you might be a single mother and you might have your kids with you. What are you going to do? You can't rely on the police all the time. This is our responsibility, you know. So change your mindset. You know, it's your responsibility to change the way you think. Because had it been me in that store, it'd have been a different situation. I'm telling you now. So like, you never know what can happen. People wake up and think they making plans for next week, and they don't make it. You know what I mean? Don't get caught slipping. Get your mind right.
Yeah.
Pass the mic on that.
All right. Dad Talk Media, my brother.
All right, I'm sorry, bro. I had to get it out of my pocket. Uh, nah, brother. The brother is right on. Hitting the nail right on the head, man. He ain't missing nothing. And I could tell he more prepared for it than even myself. You know what I'm saying? A lot of us are going off of street religion and hoping that we just gonna be able to handle it when it show up. But it ain't nothing like some good old preparation, man. When it's time to have to deal with some situations and think like the training that he talking about. I seen, man. I seen some videos, brother, right on YouTube too. Where the enemy, the potential enemy, is getting ready for some shit, man. And you know, you know how we might align when he feels like he got the call or the word to go ahead and unleash his hell on everybody. He's slowly dishing it out now. You know, and I know, you know, I'm a man of faith, man, and I don't want to see no day where hell is unleashed on us wholesale, man. But I've been warned 1,000 times, you know, to either we gonna unify and man up and prepare for a potential situation like that, for what really looks like it's inevitable. You know, that's what it's really looking like to me. Or we gonna, you know, try to lock our houses up, man, and stay in there until there ain't no more food in there, and then you still got to come outside, you know.
Yeah.
So we can't beat this right here, man. The advice Sonny giving out is what it is. You got to get the training. You got to go somewhere and get it. Of course, it's gonna be up to you and how you exercise your faith on to what extent you're gonna prepare yourself. I just think that these are good words of wisdom for us to abide by. And you know, I really can't even add too much on to that, JT.
Okay.
People have to prepare, you know. Or, you know, go ahead and rely only on whatever it is you rely on. Just remember that test that you didn't prepare for. You knew it was coming, and you didn't study for the test. And when it get there, you extra nervous. You more nervous than if you had studied for it. Just kind of remember practical application, man. Like the brother was talking about, ain't nothing like being at least prepared in some kind of way for something. Even, you know, survival. We gotta survive, and we gotta learn how to protect. You know, and we gotta get at some point, man. We got to get out of just survival mode. That's not no way to live. You know, we always only protecting ourselves and shit. We got to get ourselves to a place where we confident enough to go on the offensive about some things that's attacking our community and where we don't have to wait all the time.
Right.
You know, we might have to deal with some stuff head on sometimes, man. And I'm not saying that this is something that you go out and do tomorrow, but you know, the world ain't getting no safer. It's getting more dangerous.
Right.
Yeah. So, you know, he covered it all. I don't have nothing else to add.
Okay. So Academy, give me some time. I'm gonna get you on. I see if you want to get back on the panel, let me know. I don't have no problem with that. And that's what it's all about, man. You know, our people, we have to be better equipped. And the more information that we get, the better it is. And so at first I was gonna cut this off a few minutes, but I'm not gonna do that. I'm gonna keep it on a little longer because it's very essential. If anything that I'll tell y'all people to share, I want y'all to share this. I want y'all to share this on what I copy the email, and but we have to talk about, you know, and it's very, very important, and you know, and so Sonny, you can go ahead and talk while
Yes, yes, indeedy, yes, indeedy.
while doing this.
Yeah, yeah. So there are some classes out there that will really train you up. You just have to go out and look for them. They'll
Mhm.
check that. I heard a brother. Shout out and honors to the brother Cap P12. From what I understand, he posts some training videos and things of that nature on his channel. Get a chance, check the brother out. But
Yes.
there are some videos out there that'll teach you how to clear a house. You know what I mean? That'll teach you how to clear rooms, and they will train you. And it's good. It's good to know those things, even though there's a possibility to where you may never use it. You know, we need to be prepared for it. And since we're talking about preparations and preparing and having situational awareness, um, we also need to prepare our families for a possible hardship. You know, maybe you should think about having a 90 days food supply for everyone in your home. You know, just keep that for just in case. You know what I mean? Because it might come to a day where you might see $20 laying on the ground and won't nobody pick it up. You know, it's possible that things can turn out that way. So there are certain things that you can get to kind of prepare for that, and it doesn't cost a whole lot of money. Um, I plan on taking some wilderness classes so I can learn how to survive off nature because I don't want to be a sitting duck. You know what I mean? I have children. You know what I mean? I got a future family that I got to look out for. So like, don't be one of those ones that be like, dang, I should have listened. Cause like, uh, it's a possibility that you might. Now, don't be all like, you got some people out here that build, you know what I mean, bunkers, nuclear bunkers and all that. I'm not that deep. I'm not that far deep into it.
Uh-huh.
But some things is good to know. Like back in the day, we used to know those things. So don't be ashamed about going in the woods and learning how to live off the planet. We're just returning back to the knowledge that we had before. You know what I mean? So that's part of being situationally aware also. Like your situation is this earth, what we live on. These are the situations that we might have to deal with.
Uh-huh.
Yeah. Facts. I'm sorry, fam. I thought my mic was off, man. I'm in here running water and whatnot. I
Now,
apologize, bro.
we hardly hear it.
Okay, good. I'm feeling dumb as a mother. Okay.
It's
Uh,
we didn't hear it, brother, but wherever you want to come in and drop
yeah,
some dollars, feel free. Welcome.
yeah. I got some. I want to add on because the brother um reminded me to remind the family of believers in the nation. Right, we
Mm-hmm.
was warned of a day coming where we would have to stay in the house because of the uh, violence, the dissatisfaction of America was getting to a point where white folks will react to it, and they react in ways that we don't. They go offensive with their anger.
Mm-hmm.
They are very forward and off. They act offensively. They don't put themselves in defensive positions. They act more on offense. And it was said that, you know, there would come a day, and we was asked not to pray for that day to come, but there would come a day where you might have to stay right slam up in your house, and they was teaching of what to store in your houses and how to the survival kits. It was essential for every brother and sister in the nation to have survival kits and to have something stored up so that you can, you know, perhaps make it through if they don't come in your house and get you.
Yes.
You follow what I'm saying? So everything that we talking about is relevant. And as it relates to you know, going to war with the family in such a way where I'm sorry, not with the family, with the enemy. I don't know where the government gonna be at with this. You know what I'm saying? I don't know which way. If the government gonna stand in between, or they just gonna stay out of the way and protect their essentials. I'm not sure. They may let the militia groups or whoever it is that got it out for non-whites. They might let them have a day with us, man. And you know, this shit is actually some scary shit. You know, like I don't talk about it with no happiness whatsoever.
Right.
But reality is reality. People dying out here every single day, man. We in a war anyway right now.
Yeah, practically, yes.
They already dying. It's just, you know, we getting bits and pieces every day. And then we not even talking about the other types of warfare that's chemical and biological through food and all that kind of stuff like that. You know, and I think we got a queen on here.
Yes.
She knows about, you know, the foods and stuff that's happening through water and all that kind of stuff like that, man. So, you know, I'm glad we having a conversation. I'm gonna move out the way for the sister to come on here, because I've heard her before. And shout out to you, Queen. I'm moving out the way.
Okay.
Peace, brother.
Long time, sis.
Yeah, it's been a minute. I
Peace.
want you guys to come on over to my panel too, and let's talk about different subjects. I like this conversation here.
Yeah, you got me. Just let me know. You know how we do.
Okay. I didn't hear about it. Thank you for telling me what happened and everything. Is it too much noise in the background, y'all?
You good?
Okay, because I got my dehydrator going. While y'all talking about prepping and stuff, you know, anybody who watched my profile, well, you know, my videos and whatnot, then you may be familiar that I am a prepper. So, you know, and I am also a person who likes to make their own things, you know, make my own cleaning products, household soap, body soap, stuff like that. So, you know, these are skills and growing and everything and favorite seeds, you know, it's all a part of being prepared, you know, that we should consider taking up. And y'all dropping some good information on here, you know, like when the brother was talking about going out into the woods, you know, and learning how to survive off the land. That's very essential, very important. And even more so because, you know, nowadays we can't just eat stuff like we used to could. You know, you used to could just pick this and pick that from the wild and eat it. So you have to train yourself, you know, to know what's safe. You know, and there's different things lurking in the wild than it was before. We got things going extinct and other things being created at the same time. So there's all kinds of things. And I like when the brother said, you know, you can't just hope that you can handle a situation. I think a lot of times in our own minds, you know, we'll say, well, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do that, you know, and you think it, But let's take for instance the brother who got shot in his apartment. You know, do you think he was ready for that? You know, of course you don't expect it, but you always, have to be prepared for scenarios. I always did this thing with my children when they were younger. You know, we would role play different scenarios, as I would train them and have them, go through prepping exercises and stuff and what ifs and things like that. I would have them act out scenarios and they'd be like, oh, this is why are you doing, that's not going to happen. I'm like, well, let's just pretend. What would you do? And so, I would play the assailant or whatever, and we'll go out in different situations. And it, like he said, when you get your muscle memory, there's more to it than that. What he's saying is very deep. You're training yourself to have an instinct to react. This should be something that we do on a regular basis. It should be a regular activity. As far as I'm concerned, we don't have the leisure anymore of partaking in some leisure activities that we tend to do to try to get our minds off things. Because if you would notice, we're more stressed out these days. There's a lot going on. There's a lot happening. And it's causing others to be stressed out. And it's just different the way people may tend to try to handle their stress. And a lot of people nowadays are getting high off of all kinds of substances. And that's escapism. The country is so messed up that they need an escape, or they feel they need an escape. So that's their method of escape. I was watching a video the other day of this woman who was high off of that synthetic stuff. And it was just sad. And, people was like, well, what in the world? And it's like, who knows, what it is. But these things are being pushed out here, have been pushed out here, and they create this stressful environment. And then they give us these things that we can use. And so a lot of people don't even operate under their, I can't really use the word normal because it's hard for us to determine what normal is nowadays, but they're just not in a sane and healthy frame of mind. And you pair that up with a substance, or you pair it up with, a feeling of desperate, destitute, where they feel like they got to have this or got to have that. And the devaluing of life that is out here nowadays, you just never know. Again, like the brother said, you can get up in the morning and prepare for a whole week of this and a whole week of that, or even just your day. I'm about to go to the store, then I'm going to drop by the post office, I'm going to go pick this up, I'm going to go see my little niece. And somewhere along the line, it's a whole nother situation that occurred, and you sitting around like, oh, I didn't expect this to happen. But as we hear about all these notorious things, these atrocious things that are taking place, instead of, just saying, wow, this is crazy, this world is a trip, and shaking my head, you have to start immediately placing yourself in that situation. I think we do a good job of removing ourselves from it because it didn't directly happen to us or somebody that we know. I noticed, when someone was saying in the chat, like, why are we talking about this? Well, I think it's good that they ask the question so it can be answered from different perspectives. Why should we not talk about this? Because I get that, some stories are just repeated and pushed out there for us to have a conversation about it. But at the same time, we have to look at it also as a good thing, because we're having this conversation that we're having right now. So are you just, talking about it like, man, that was a shame, and, so-and-so died, so-and-so is hurt, or are you looking deeper into it? So if we just step away from the situation and misplace ourselves, then we get to walk around like, well, that happened to them. You know what I mean? That may not necessarily happen to us, which is not true, because we can't predict it. And we sure can't predict our environment. We can't control the next person. I'm sure when you're driving down the street, you're just like, you're looking out for other drivers. You pretty much know how you're going to drive. but you're watching this car that's coming up on the left, the one that's turning in front of you, the one that's coming up behind you on the right, the one that got behind you. Why are they driving so closely? You know, what are you anticipating their moves? So you have to have that same mind frame when you're just out and about. And a lot of times we are distracted by our phones, but we need to try and teach ourselves and our children to not be so into our phones, because we should be always on alert and focused on our environments, because there's things you can pick up on that will trigger your senses and your instinct to say something isn't right. You know, something is probably is going to go down. Some people drive and be in their phone and they don't even remember the turns. They just know that they got there because they're so used to, you know, taking that route or even driving, but really they weren't focused. So if something extreme would have happened, you know, someone made a crazy turn, they'll have a slower reaction to it. And that's the same way we are when we're out and we're more focused on social media or whatever we're doing on our phones, and we're not being totally alert. So that's what consciousness is. You know, you're being totally aware of what's happening around you at all times, and you're prepared to properly react. So if we try and, you know, focus more on what's going on and wait until it's a good, safe place to sit down and put focus into our phones, then we'll also be able to feel different things, you know, just by the way someone is moving, the way they're acting, the way they're, you know, it's a confrontation between them as you're walking up, and, you know, you wouldn't have seen it until you got there because you were on your phone, but you can notice it and you say, maybe I'll go the other way, or something's about to go down. You know, people walk in the store with their phones in their hands, you know, but have you looked through the glass door? Have you checked it out? Do you notice a robbery? Do you notice something else going on? You know, where's your gun? Are you ready to use it? Or where's your taser? Or where's your, you know, all of the stuff that you have, having it is one thing, but being ready to use it is another thing. And also being ready and, you know, having that instinct to use it is still another thing, because you can take your gun and every month or so go to the gun range and practice, like, okay, I can shoot. But if someone walk up to you with a situation where you may need to pull it and use it, what do you think your first reaction will be? Do you think your first reaction will be to, you know, do everything that if you took a class or something like that, they taught you? Would you just pull it out, use it right away? Would you have that proper reaction, or would you first be like, what? I know this ain't happening to me. Oh my goodness. You know, sometimes you'll be surprised, because we have these prep classes here and we do all these scenarios and things like that. And you'd be surprised how many people, you got your gun right on your hip and you took too many seconds just being like, whoa, this is going down, you know, to even process it. And by that time, they've already done what they've done to you. So, you know, it's like if someone throws a ball at you, 9 times out of 10, you're going to catch it. Even if they throw it, then call your name and you look, you're probably going to catch it, because that's just a natural reaction. And plus, you know, you've played catch a time or two before in your life. It's an instinct, but we'd be surprised at what our natural instincts are when we're in immediate danger. You know, we'd be surprised because it's not something that is commonplace. And yeah, it might be a natural reaction to do something, but again, you know, you'll be surprised. So you have to always be prepared for any situation, so you'll have a better chance of getting out of it. And if that guy in his home, you know, your home, that's your most sacred place. That's where you most feel safe. And I'm pretty sure most men are always in the mindset of somebody come in my house, you know, threaten my family, try to take my stuff, try to rape my wife. You know, I got this. But have them sleep in the middle of the night. There's shows out there on YouTube you can watch where they do this kind of stuff. Have somebody come in the middle of the night and see what your natural instincts would be. You know, see how quick you are to react and know exactly what to do. You know, does your family members know what to do? You know, if this room caught on fire, or, you know, if this situation was to come, you know, what's the emergency? You know, a lot of us probably haven't done a drill or training since we were in school and had a fire drill, you know? So it's good to keep the things in mind, to remind yourself to be on point and be prepared. It's more likely that we are going to be involved in some kind of catastrophe or be in, you know, a catastrophic situation than not. It is just, that's just the way things are going these days. And that's the mindset of the people and the devaluation of life. And it's so many things going on, and then so many substances that people are on. You have to think more so that you're not safe than you are safe. So it's better to be on guard and prepared and let people call you paranoid or whatever they want to do than to not. You know, natural disasters, you know, we could have a storm, you know, the hurricane just came through down in the southern states. So imagine this winter and it gets ugly, you know, the weather's getting worse and you're without power for a week. What's your plan? What's your plan to keep your family warm? What's your plan to keep your family safe? Do you have somewhere to go? Can you get there? What if you're stuck inside? What are y'all eating? What are y'all drinking? You know, once your food runs out or exposed or what have you, where are you? You know, what if somebody gets injured? Do you have the proper things to take care of that injury? Do you have the proper knowledge? You know, so you have to be cognizant of these things and, you know, keep them in your head, because I guarantee you, you know, if this brother was, you know, a little bit more up on it, he probably could have reacted. Now, we don't know 100% that he could have stopped her from killing him, but he probably could have injured her, or at the least, you know, or something like that. Or we would hear more to the story because there would be more noise made, because it would have went down up in there. But I'm pretty sure whatever he was doing, whether he was asleep, whether he was woke, she caught him off guard. And his reaction was like, I know somebody ain't just come up in my house. You know, I'm pretty sure he was stuck on that a little too long, instead of having that shotty ready or whatever, you know, to do what he got to do. Because if somebody surprise you, that's why it's called a surprise. And that's why things are called an accident, because you don't see it coming. You don't expect it to happen. But you need to be prepared to know what to do if it does. So if somebody come up to you and surprise you real fast, you know, they already know what they're going to do. They already have their plan. They have their intentions, you know, whether they have to deviate or not, but they're already in mode. You know, you first got to process it, and then you got to get to your mode. So they already got, you know, some one-ups on you. So, you know, you have to be, you know, you have to get prepared. You have to get prepared. I was watching a show last night, you know, I just like to watch random shows while I'm sewing or whatever. And it was the Steve Harvey show. And there was a young lady on there. She was about 20 years old, and she stood up in the audience and she told Steve, she said, you know, my mother is overbearing and I don't know what to do. He said, can you, you know, hear what our situation is and tell us if you think she's overbearing? So he was like, yeah, look, go ahead. So she's, again, like I said, she's like 21. And she said that her mother usually tells her, okay, so where you going? Okay. Text me when you get there. Or if she's going to be staying a night or something, she wants to, you know, check out the environment, say like you might would for a younger child. She wants to maybe, you know, ask a few questions or even talk to the other parent and stuff like that. Then she said this. She said that sometimes when she comes home, there's not a close by park. And if anybody stays in a, you know, big apartment complex or condos, then you already know them parks can fill up fast, and you may have to go to the next couple of parking spaces and walk your butt home. So she said that she came home in the middle of the night once, and, you know, that her mother already has her on this routine of letting her know when she's getting home. And she came home and she had to park, like, you know, a couple of parking spaces away, not parking spaces, but, you know, like it's not in front of your building. It's at another building. You see what I'm saying? So she said her mother told her, hold on, stay right there. I'm going to come pick you up. And she said her mother drove less than a block to come pick her up. And Steve's face was all, like, whoa. And the audience was like, whoa. And he was like, yeah, Mom, you're overbearing. And I was very disappointed. I was like talking to the TV and everything, like, what? Because that I would not be saying that, and I didn't expect him to have that reaction. But sometimes when we're looking at these things on TV and the media and stuff, they are putting things in your head to have desensitized you, to throw you off your guard. And, I happen to agree, unfortunately, with the mom and the way that she's doing things. At 21, you don't necessarily want, your mom to, okay, let it go. I'm grown now and stuff. But think about the times that we're living in. And we need more of that as females. If you got a good man, good and well, he's pretty much like that. Like he would pick you up like the mom did, or he would be like, okay, he would keep up with what's going on with you. And that's different than being jealous or anything like that. It's just a matter of safety, because 9 times out of 10, if you were in a situation and hours went by, days went by, and you're not even checking in, they don't even know they don't know where to start, because they have no idea what the last place was that you were going to. If they know how to expect you back, or, if you have an emergency plan in place, then, y'all got to have that stuff together. And if that's her daughter and they're living in the same home, she's right for checking up on her. I'm pretty sure she sees all kinds of stuff on the news. And so just imagine the crap that could have happened to this child in the middle of the night, walking from the next building over to her building. Ain't no telling what's out there. And you by yourself, so she came out a lot safer with her mother getting in the car and her getting out her car and in her mom's car and her driving her over there. And so in the morning when it's daylight, she could get in her car and go away, than for her to sit there and let her child walk home. And then, 30 minutes later, like, she should have been in by now. But next thing you know, the police is calling, the ambulance is coming because some dude done snatched her. So that to me was like, very shocking that, they were just telling her she was overbearing and things like that, because I think sometimes we don't look out for each other enough. Like, we don't check up on our other enough. We don't check up on our children enough, or we don't just, put things into their head to say, we got to be on code. We got to be safe. We got to have a password. We got to have, a plan and things like that, so everybody just see you when you see you and come home when you come home, and, you don't know what's going on. So.
Okay, but let me ask you a question before I hit you up, Malik. When you start teaching your kids about precaution, what ages you taught your kids about precaution?
I think probably any mother would say since they were very, very little, like toddler age, if not younger, because usually a baby, sometimes, depending on the personality, is already going to have like this instinct. They're really not going to be checking for strangers like that. If it's not the mom or dad, you can smile and giggle, but you try to hold them, like, hold on. So they already kind of, leery about strangers. And, moms usually, teach the children when they're toddlers, okay, this is a stranger. This is what stranger means. You can't run up to anybody. You can't trust anybody. So I think it starts there. But I think there's not a time that's too early to start, giving them things according to what they're able to understand, as far as to let them know that, this is why you have to do this, because it's just not safe for you. Because children are naive. They don't know any better, as far as they're concerned, unless they're watching violent programs all the time or they're seeing violence in a home. People are nice and people are safe and things like that. So it's never too early, because that will help your child when, they're not necessarily around you, or they're not immediately in your view, make better decisions that could keep them from some sort of danger. Because you'd be surprised how sneaky people are and how quick they are. And if you watch predator shows, that, sometimes they work on it, and when I say work on it, they might not snatch your child right away. But they might sneak up and ease through there by some other method, maybe the online gaming or something like that. So the earlier we start teaching them about certain precautions and things, the better chance they have.
Okay, good. Thank you. Malik Omar from the LDPC. Your take, brother. Welcome.
Hey man, hey, it's a blessing to be back on the underrated darkness panel. I want to give a shout out to Sonny Hill Boxing, to the sister and the other brother. I'm enjoying the show, brother. Man, this is something. That's why I say your show is special. It's critical. You know what I mean? With this social engineering going on, tell a vision. Um, you have these video games which are so detrimental on the minds of these children, brother. And like my brother Sonny was saying earlier on, man, they hooked on these cell phones. They have something, brothers and sisters, that's I was like totally unaware of it. And one of my colleagues, he kind of showed me something that's called eye dosing, and I never ever knew what the hell he was talking about. JT, I said, what is eye dosing? White dude telling me this. He said, what that is somebody just hooked on their cell phone, not per se television, and hooked on the internet, just hooked on any gadgets that's dealing with laptops. They just eye dose, they high off it. They can't live without it. And that's what we're dealing with. You have people, male and female, no matter the age, they're actually texting while walking across the street, JT. One sister here in Philadelphia, because we have a lot of basements. So the place of business had the basement door open, and she wasn't paying no attention. And what she did was she fell down in the step. As she was paying attention, she broke her neck. Man, she can't even walk now. She's disabled for life. So you have people walking out on the street, good brother, getting killed by trucks, by cars, and you telling me that don't do nothing to the mindset? We are in danger, man. And it's not just per se black folks. We the most ignorant ones. They're the ones they pick on. They really make an example out of us, but people in general. And all these cell towers that are near the poorest neighborhoods, that's where the cancer runs rampant. This ain't me just talking. I mean, I tell people when I talk, and some people get frustrated with me and my own family. And I tell my uncles and my aunts, and in particularly my sister, it's not that I know everything. It's unfortunately that I have a habit of reading, picking up a book, as opposed to turning on the television and shucking and jiving. And these are certain things that you talk about, man, the Sunny Hill boxing, and she say sleep talk about, man. We need to get back to that and teaching our children. Survivalism. Survivalism is something that I actually been teaching my family for eons now, since I've been with my wife, man. That's something, anything can happen. Because, what if they shut down all the supermarkets and some freaky happened? And it has happened here in Philadelphia where the lights been off for over 24 hours. People start freaking out, man. You have to get generator, and particularly not the gas ones, but I have one. You can get a solar one. You can charge it up through the sun. I know how to clean water and whatnot. That's easy to do with charcoal. And these are things that we need to do and pass on to our neighbors. So survivalism is something that I actually been down with, man, ever since I've been listening to the white boy named Alex Jones. He crazy as hell, but a whole lot of stuff he talking is real. And it's really not race baiting, man. It's really about survivalism. If something go down like that, man, they play white folks out on us, thinking that we the enemy, and vice versa. When we won, your boat may be a little bit safer than mine, but we actually in the same boat. And if we stop the foolishness, man, and work together as one, then it wouldn't be able to play us off on one another. And another thing, JT, I was listening to you earlier on, and I said something in the chat about this as far as Sonny brought up, and here in Philadelphia it's difficult and more harder. These statistics that people of color is difficult. They gotta go through hell up on Harlem, man, to get a gun, for business per se. They question them, to do all kind of background checks versus white folk. And this is statistics. So we got a big issue with that up here. So, white folks outside in the counties like Reading, we got Paoli, we got Norristown, Allentown, all up in here, man. They got all kind of camping grounds where they be shooting, and they practice every day. They ain't stupid, though. They don't practice on each other like we do. because don't nobody kill like we do. And I'm hard on us, man, because we need to look at ourselves. Oftentimes, JT, when you talk hard on your people, you make them think more, and we are tough people. So that's what I'm going at with this, man. But they ready for war, man, and they ready for survivalism. That's why now it's getting they red line in certain areas up here, man. I mean, they regentrifying Center City,
Yeah.
Kensington, all this stuff around here. Richard Allen, historical project. There's no more black folks in there. I mean, they pushing, moving people out, and I blame a lot of that on ourselves. Not per se them, because you don't have to sell out. If somebody offer you double what your house is made, oh yes, no, I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna sit right here. So this eminent domain, they're using that against us too. So these are things, JT, that I'm glad that you bring to full circle. I'm glad you have a woman on the panel, has some balance, brother. I love it, because we come out of y'all bellies. We love y'all, sister. You know, and I can't live without JT. I just can't, man. And I wanted to ask you something too, JT. For the record, do you go to the beach often? Because I'm asking you this because you live around my area. I'm from Norfolk, Virginia. So
well, ever since I've been living in Virginia for 6 years, I've been to the beach faithfully only 4 times. That's from 2012 to 2016, and yeah, the last I've been to the beach was 2016. That's it.
Okay, I'm saying this to say, when I was down there, I used to always wonder why my grandmother, because I'm from there, Virginia Beach, Norfolk, I was born at. She used to always take us to the beach when we ever got sick. And unbeknownst to me, as I got older, the waves that we got down there, the hit, the waves, you got something that's called the negative ions. The negative ions is what does what? Purifies the blood system, clean your heart out, clean your lungs out. And oftentimes when you go down to the beach and you hang out a little bit, especially when you get in the water, you coughing up hawk. And you coughing up all kind of, next morning, usually something coming out of your eyes. But that's a healing mechanism. That's another survival kick. If you get sick, man, and you can't get no medicines or antibiotics and whatnot to see. You know what I mean? The sun is another survival kit. You know what I mean? If you got any kind of skin disease, get into a habit of, most people can't afford it, but you go online and get some deals, get on the payment plan, get yourself a magnifying type window glass. And what that do is that magnetize, and when it's cold, it can magnify the sunlight coming into your house, and it causes it to heat up even quicker. And you can take yourself sunbaths. That'll get rid of anything on your skin, man. But any water, water that we use the restroom, man, you can clean that within 10 minutes with charcoal. So yeah, for everywhere there is a way, man. And God, if you got that in full circle, man, ain't can nothing stop you. But I hope and I pray that as crazy as this country is, JT, man, I've been around the world, brother. There ain't nowhere like this. You know what I mean? So, if we all get together, the human race, man, and turn that television off and stop being controlled by the media, Madia, that comes from the Greek god, the god of illusion. Then, things like this won't even happen. What happened today, man? The sister, then she tried to kill herself, going in and kill people. Then you go, man, that's crazy, man. And if you telling me that, but on the phone, I'm thinking that you watching a movie, man. That don't happen it just don't. You know what I mean? I don't even watch the news, JT. I'm no better than nobody. But I honor and I praise peace. I like positivity. And I know positivity cannot last without negativity, because they opposite. I understand that, man. But this mayhem that's going on, man, is bananas, man. And sometimes I ask myself, God, why you put me in this black body? But we all in these black bodies for a reason. We here to save humanity, man. The most oppressed, we the answer, man. Or going to get a gun. Let me tell you something. All that don't mean nothing, man. Because this spiritual warfare, the real spirituality, that's man-made, man. You can't even, the new revolution it's going to be fought with no guns. You know what I mean? Because I believe, man, in my heart, and I ain't Uncle Tommy, I'm not cooning, I ain't Sanborn. I believe in my heart, man, the majority of the white folks on this planet, man, are decent people. They just happen to be victims like we are. They play us off against each other. But that little 1%, man, the ignorant ones, the Trumps, the Bushes, the Clintons and whatnot, the people that are the elitists, man, they play us off against each other.
But you know what, Malik? I'm gonna say this, and I disagree on it. I think the percentage is much more higher, and I think that it got something to do the families that have been in existence for centuries and centuries. I'm
Right.
not saying that you're wrong, but I'm talking about I disagree the percentage, and
I'm
I
a,
feel and I feel that there are some, but see this is the key. Maybe I'm getting off the subject, and I excuse me, family, because it's all about precaution.
right.
But for me, it's that white supremacy
Well,
has help. They
well, let
have
me
help of other nationalities.
tell you this, JT,
And
not to
I
cut
think
off.
that we got to talk more about that, how
Right.
they take precaution to oppress us as melanin people. And
Right.
we got to stop saying, these white people, they have help.
Now
And
let me tell JT. Let me just. I gotta stop. Please, just hear me out. There's no such thing as white supremacy, brother. It never ever existed. Now, hear what I'm saying. I know what you're talking about, but there's no such thing. And I used to say the same thing. And to an elder about 50 years older than me, he said, "You know what, Malik? There's no such." And I argued this man down. I said, "But it is history." And I'm pouring out facts. He said, "What I'm saying to you." He said, "Brother, I know what you're saying, but there's no such thing as white supremacy. It never existed. That's a theory. That's a mindset. When we as black people say white supremacy, we letting them know that they supreme than us. Even to even mention that, there's no such thing as white supremacy. What you want to say in the correct terminology you're trying to say is institutionalized racism. I know exactly what you're talking about, but white supremacy never ever existed. Black supremacy don't exist. That's a mindset. That's a theory. That's something that people believe in it. But if you want to continue to say it and believe that it exists, hey, knock yourself out. But I'm telling you, it never ever existed. I know what you're talking about. The Klan and the skinheads, that's not white supremacy. That's institutionalized racism and nationalism. And how that's ran down is through laws and working together. But they're not supreme. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
I understand what you're saying, Malik, and I get it. But my thing is that you said institutionalized. To me, is a lot more racism that is going by, and I think that for me is that I'm not going to keep on set, certain things of racism that been going on. There's a whole type of racism that we definitely ain't tapped in. But I want to ask you a question.
Yes, sir.
What ages, because I put it out to everybody in the panel, what ages that you teach your kids about planning what we talk about?
Believe it or not, JT, as crazy as this might sound, an old head told me this, and I agree with him wholeheartedly. It's okay to disagree. He said, particularly as a black man, as soon as you come out of your mother's womb, you come out of that vagina, man, and you breathe your first breath of air, he said you're under attack. So it should be from the womb to the tomb. And I'm not trying to be funny. You should be, if you're going to send your children to public school, then you need to homeschool them as well. Because oftentimes we get rid of these children within for 8 hours. I see it, man. And these children, they crying out, man, for our help. I'm constant. I work with a whole lot of children. I don't tell everything that I do because if I do that, what that does is put me above people because I know a lot of people ain't doing what I do. A lot of people ain't doing what you're doing. So that's why I try to keep my ego in check. But I work with a whole lot of children. Take care. And my wife, she's constantly on me about taking care of this child that ain't yours, taking care of this child, doing this right. I had a book bag drive. I want me to put that out here in Philadelphia. Do it every year. We give out free haircuts. And if I can do it, imagine if all of us in this chat can do something for a child. Do their hair. You got a little extra money, buy them some shoes. So I say from the womb to the tomb. As soon as that baby start coming out, them black women need to start singing them African American hymns to them, African American proverbs and whatnot. We've been through hell. Start teaching them when they're young. You know what I mean? Teach them because we made a lot of mistakes. That's why our children run out here crazy as hell. They ain't dumb. That's us. We failed them. You know what I'm saying? So what we got to do is learn and teach them. Don't make the same mistakes. That's the answer right there. And it takes a village to raise a child, man. I'm sorry. It was one time when I was coming up, a little bit before me though, you know, if you acted up, then your neighbor could kick your butt. And then when your parents came home, they kicked your butt. Now, do something like that to somebody's child. They can run it down to CPS. Now, I mean, you ain't doing it but trying to help the child. So we disorganized. We dysfunctional, man. We sick. And we need to be healed, man. All these single bastard children around here. And I say that because I'm one of them. You know what I mean? The mother over here and the father over here. Nah, man. We got to cut that out. Y'all brothers out here, you gotta let you big head. I thank the Lord here because man, making a child with a baby, man, making a child with a sister don't make you a man. Take a real man to raise that child, be there for that sister, and a real woman, and vice versa. We gotta heal ourselves, man. I hear you, JT, talk all the time about your mother and your father, so you know where I'm coming from, brother. And they ain't knocking nobody in the chat if they ain't down with that. But I'm telling you, that's the answer. Go back to how we was living before integration, man. It was unheard of for a black woman to have a baby out of wedlock. They sent her down south and she was an outcast, man. We ain't roll like that. You married that sister if you knocked her up, homie. You made that woman a real woman. That became your wife. You know what I'm saying? So we got to get back to that and teaching our children as young as when they come out of that womb. I'm sorry, brother. Go ahead.
No, I didn't tell you to stop.
Oh, well, no, JT, man. I know there's other people on the panel, and I mean,
okay, now, but I want you to stay right there because I'm getting ready to close out.
Okay.
And then and each and every one of y'all make your comment and talk about your channel. I want y'all to stay right there because I want you to hear what I'm saying. That's how that's how I've been doing it lately, and I want to keep it like that. And the ones in the chat, I want you to hold on tight. The first I'm gonna start off with Soul Academy. Tell about your channel. Tell people about your channel. Last remark is gonna be Soul Academy. Gay.
Oh, greetings.
Go hold on, sis. Let me name. Gay Talk after her. Malik. And last one, Sonny. I'm sorry, Mr. Sis. You got it.
Okay, no problem. I appreciate you having me on the panel. And like I said, my panel is also open to all of you gentlemen on the chat, on the panel right now. I like to cover all kind of topics as well. So I'm trying to get more people to come on the panel and have good conversations like the one that we just had here today. You know, this is a very, very good conversation. I like y'all minds, you know, good energy too. So I'm Soul Alchemy. Check me out. I'll type something in the chat. If y'all have any topics you want to discuss, then, you know, just let me know.
That's it. Okay, I guess that's it.
Hi, what you say?
I thought you kept on going.
Oh no, I just, you know.
Okay.
Peace to all the ones on the panel that I have never met before. I've seen Gap Talk. See, now that I know that you be getting on the panel, I'm gonna try to get you when I see you in the chat.
Okay, yeah.
So don't be shy when you come over there. I need more brothers on the panel who can you know, have good conversations. So I'm trying to get this you know, relationship series going on, you know, not for people to talk about their own personal relationships, you know, unless you want to, but just, you know, getting panel with guys and females, and one with just guys, one with just females, and not only covering all kind of subjects, but also, you know, talking about, you know, our situations with each other, you know, what we think can be improved, you know. What you say, JT?
Huh?
What you say?
Well, I do that. Oh yes, I do. Oh yes. It gets critical on this channel. You can ask Malik.
I believe it.
Yes,
I
you
believe
do.
it. So that's what we need. We need more of that, you know. So good. I'm gonna be looking out for those kind of shows too.
Yeah, because I hold brothers accountable. Yep. I hold sisters accountable, and I hold us both accountable. And I even talk about myself.
Yep.
Myself. So I could help somebody, because sometimes that, and I know about other channels. I'm not knocking other channels. Sometimes they want to talk about books, talk about other, but they don't use themselves. So I don't mind using myself to help somebody out, so they can say, "Oh, I identify with that."
Right. Yeah, we was on a panel. I think it was last week, and I think we was on Suge's panel, and we kind of got off into problems that we have with each other as man and woman. And, you know, DS1 had made a statement saying that, you know, sometimes women think they know what a man wants, and they don't ask. you know. And I thought that that was a good statement. So, you know, that's when I, you know, felt like we should get together and, you know, let the guys come on and let y'all, you know, we got to talk about weave and, you know, different things that, you know, how women present themselves that to possibly attract a guy. And, you know, he was saying that, you know, sometimes guys don't even be looking for that kind of stuff and they just, you know, assume based on other things. So it would be good to talk to guys and see what it is that they're looking for or would like to see, you know, from women, whether it's to be personally attracted to them or not, you know?
Yeah, Malik, I'm mad at you. You put the whammy on me, Malik. Malik said, I'm gonna help you look for something. I'm mad at you, Malik. He probably heard me. But all right, after that, Gab Talk Media, my brother.
I heard you, JT.
Yeah, go ahead, my brother. Gab Talk Media. Talk about your channel. Last remarks, please.
All right, peace. It's Gab from Gab Talk Media. You can catch me on under that title on almost any of the social media, except for Snapchat. And so y'all go sign up. I appreciated the panel. This was a hell of a discussion, a worthy discussion. I'm glad to be on the panel with Sister Soul. I think is one of the. But sister, I watch your channel like quite often, and I try and comment sometimes that I come through there. But I appreciate what you're doing. Like you're really hands on with it. Sonny, I was really feeling. I could tell you got that experience with regard to security and all of that. And I miss brother Malik. And thank you, Underrated, for always welcoming me to your platform, man.
Anytime.
I always appreciate it. You've helped me in a number of ways to extend my arms and grow my platform. So I just want you to know I'm grateful for that, brother, and just keep up the good work.
I just want to be a servant to our community. That's it. I'm a weaker vessel like anybody else. You know, that's how it is. And I appreciate you, Gab. I appreciate you acknowledge me because I have to say this. When I bring my trueness, it seems like I'm not being respected. But it's okay though, because long as I'm doing his work, God's work, and then I can reach somebody, that's all what counts. So shout out to you, Gab Talk. And go to the brother. He got excellent information. I'm telling you, always encouraging, always want us to really, really dig in a spirituality of our spirituality as African people. And I urge y'all to really, we need to tap that. We need to tap into that. Malik, boy, if my hands would have been long, I would have you stop. Goddamn.
It's all good, JT, man. I just want to thank you, man, for allowing me to come on, man. As far as my channel, JT, I'm about to get it started, man. But between this filming, man, I just been real busy. I'm working on a major film project right now in the Philippines.
Tell them about more that film.
Okay. Oh yeah. If any of y'all have access to the latest project, my godson is the lead star. Vivica A. Fox is the co-star. The name of it is called Jason's Letter. I'm gonna put it in the chat. It comes on.
Yeah, do that, please.
Okay. It comes on the 22nd of this month. It's on demand right now, so it's been the most viewed.
Malik, keep on talking because I'm gonna make you a mod. Because you've been showing up though.
Okay. Yes, sir. And what it is, brothers and sisters, it's a movie that's based on police brutality here in Philadelphia. We filmed it between Philadelphia and Delaware, so y'all make sure y'all go check that out. We all have a lot of acting stars in there, but the major one we have is Vivica A. Fox, and I want to give her a shout out for taking that little bit of money we paid her. You know what I'm saying? But it was some money, but Fifth Gate Fox, man, that's like damn near $1 million. She took a couple of 100,000. So I want to give her a shout out, man. And
Shout
I'm gonna
out,
put
brother. Shout out.
yeah, no doubt. So I'm gonna put it in the chat on the 22nd. If y'all ain't able to see it, y'all
Yeah.
can on demand it as well. It's on Stars Network. So check
Right.
that out. Jason's letter. Hey JT, I'm gonna have to hang up to put that in the chat though because it's in my picture section. So
Yeah. You can put it in there.
all right. God bless JT, man, and hopefully you come on tonight.
I might do another one tonight, but we're gonna be some about music. Also, I do boxing and I do music too.
Oh, no doubt, no doubt. Shout out to the LDBC, by the
Yeah,
way.
shout out to the LDBC family. The doctor's always on the grind. And you know, I might come with another one tonight. If it's gonna be another one, it's gonna talk about music. And I'm
Okay.
gonna bring something that nobody ain't gonna hear. But
Yeah, this I gotta hear this. This I gotta see. All right, JT, let me hang up and put this in the chat.
all right. Okay, Sonny.
Mic check 1 2 1 2.
1 2 1 2, bro.
Indeed, indeed. Once again, man, honest to everyone today that came into to the chat. Enjoyed your comments, each and last one of you. Um, Big shout out to everyone who came on to the panel today. The two sisters, you know what I mean, the brothers that came on. Excellent, excellent work, excellent information. Brother JT with another banger, with another topic. You know what I mean? Honest to you for that.
Appreciate it, man.
The show is Sunny Boxing Talk. I am Sunny Justice Bay. Um, you know, I got a couple of videos up there, you know, talking about boxing and whatnot for those who are interested in boxing. Um, Keep an eye out. I will be doing some live streams soon. I not only talk sports, but I talk about conscious information also from you know, my point of view and my perspective. Uh, I will check the sister out, sister the soul sister. I may have got your name wrong, but I just supported your channel, and you know, I check out your channel sometime or whatever. But for the last remarks, I would like to say just remember the topic for the day and be vigilant. You know, be you know conscious of your situation. You know, should be aware of your situation. Be around your surroundings. Be aware of your surroundings. You know what I mean? Just begin to change your mind. Practice different things. When you before you leave out your house, you know, it's good to take a peek first. Like take a peek to find out what's going on outside. Know where your blind spots are. Um, you know, before you park, you know, when you pulling up to your house, before you park, make sure that you're looking at all the blind spots that somebody could possibly pop out because you never know. Some crazy people out there, especially those women who are single. You know, some creeps out there. You know what I mean? So when you pull into your neighborhood or you pull into your house or your driveway, make sure that you're not just so focused on the radio. You know, look at all your blind spots. Like you pulling up, you looking at the side of the house. You know what I mean, and all the blind spots. Just take time to make sure that some of these things become muscle memory. You go inside the store, look inside the window before you leave out. You know what I'm saying? Look outside to see who's outside. Um, the sister was talking about prepping. You know what I mean? Put in some, put into your plans to try to get a 90-day food supply for at least everybody in the house. You know what I mean? Have a first aid kit. You know, have a bag packed already for everybody in the house, just in case there's a situation where you got to roll out. You can just roll out. Know where your nearest fallout shelter is. A lot of people don't know that. You know, in just about every city, there's some form of fallout. fallout shelter. You know what I mean? So be more involved in different situations that could possibly happen in your life. Because if not, you're gonna be short, and you're gonna be one of the ones, crying somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So be ready for these situations. We have a beautiful community of people that are attached to you, JT. Like the people that come in, like the Sisters of Prepper.
Mm-hmm.
We got some people that know about gardening. We got some people that know about security. We have a wide variety of things that, like, if you don't know something, you can kind of reach out to learn how to do a particular thing. So don't be scared to reach out for people. Reach out to people and ask questions or whatever. So you know, to just be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of everything,
Yeah.
and begin to switch your mind state around a little bit, because we need to do better as a people, as far as preparing and storing and things of that nature. Like JT was talking about, traveling packs. You know what I mean? Make yourself a not so easy target. Very, very important. And with that, I say peace.
All right. Want y'all to stay. The boy in the panel wants you to stay. Usually I read the each name out of the chat. I'm not gonna do that today. But the I see was I want to tell the sister thank you so much for your always support and encouragement. Because she had to go. So I see I shot you out, brother. So everybody in the chat, I want to thank you so much for your constant support. Even though sometimes I feel low, and but I'm here. I'm a grinder. Can't stop me. But today, again, it's like groundbreaking day. I want each and every one of y'all to share this stream. That is very important. We all learn a lot today. And each brother and sister was on the panel, even in the chat. We got a wealth of information that we could take home, that we could put into use. And especially for me as being single and live alone, I had to definitely necessary to take precaution, because and I'm talking about humanity, but I'm breaking it down to our people. We in the war, and the sad thing about it, we not winning, because, like I said, like over about 3 hours ago, we still had this passive mindset, and then when we had this passive mindset, our our mind is not clear. Definitely, our lens ain't clear. I always talk about authentic listening. It's not clear. So we walk like into robots. We got to get out of that. We just cannot just think that we could do certain things right now like 30, 40 years ago. The time has changed. So we got to learn to adopt with the times and adopt with the safety. We have to take safety very, very seriously. We have to protect our kids. We have to teach our kids, like Oya said, very young. And so then when they get older, and we have to check out their friends. We have to do our due diligence to keep the minimum down. And I want to salute each and everybody in the chat, and especially on a panel, to make this happen. I did not know how it's going to turn out when I create this, but my spirit says, the darkness, you got to come with this. You got to bring this information out. And I'm happy that this certain spirit had pushed me to do this today, because I was going to wait till right now to do it, but Didn't make no sense. And I was in the spirit by then. And I just had to do it. You know, most likely we probably know the know the story anyway. We don't have to watch the news. So I figured we do it 2 o'clock to enlighten humanity, and us as melanin people, we part of humanity. Matter of fact, I'm gonna put one of my hashtags right now. Give y'all something to think about. Appreciate that, bro. I got 5 hashtags too. I want you to look at it. Look at my description. I got 5 hashtags. But I want to copy this down. I want to type it in. So give us inspiration to keep on fighting. And again, I'm humble of this opportunity. Really is. Let me see here. Oh, Sarah, you caught to the end, brother. Peace and light to you, brother. Here it is. Bang. Hashtag Black people. We are part of humanity too. Hashtag Black people. We part of humanity too. Want y'all to understand that. I want y'all to keep on thinking on it. Let's keep on fighting. And again, Sarah, thanks for coming. You just, yeah, I know. I figured that because YouTube is acting up. I don't know what's going on. YouTube is really acting up. And also, I forgot to put this out there. I don't use SUB no more. Wherever you want to transaction, wherever, say I support you. And then when that person rescind back, I got you. No more SUB no more. Because YouTube, what they doing, they checking on the channels, and they little by little they taking away subs, and then they replacing everything. So what we gotta do, some my brother, shout out to my brother Big Cass TV. He put me on almost 2 weeks ago. So for now on, we not gonna use SUB no more. When you want get in touch, come to the channel or whatever. Is I support you. And then when they resend back, I got you. All right. So on that note, I might come with another darkness, masterpiece tonight. It's gonna be some music. It's gonna be something that gonna be something. But I'll be coming with boxing. I'll be coming with music. I'll be breaking down analysts of boxing, of historical content, and I do what I do. Like I said, I'm not just chefing up in the kitchen. I be chefing up information. Recognize that. The underrated darkness, the underrated one, the realist. On behalf of the panel and chat, love y'all. On that note, Ghost.
Peace.